the Invictus Holiday Special. My name is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and you're watching the Invictus stream. Every year around this time, we get together to play a zany, craney, wackadoo game that we like to call the Christmas Special. And this is our 5th year in a row, and we are so excited to be here with you. Tonight, I am joined by the one and only, the lovely Ms. Jo Fallak. Returning champion, Mr. Justin Thomas James. The handsome Mr. James Swirl. And our GM extraordinaire tonight is Mr. Chris Viseau. Hey! And tonight we bring you an experience, one that you will never forget, because we will. We're drinking tonight, and it's going to be one of those games. So if you don't like swearing and sexual content and vile imagery...
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you do.
And we'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Invictus Christmas game. We are so excited to be here tonight. It is going to be a weird one tonight, and that's coming from me, so you know it's going to be weird in the long and short of it. James, I think you might be muted. Oh, there we go. Because you said something with Nova, and I didn't hear it. Sure.
Yeah, I said hello, and I had him wave his little...
We saw, but we
We saw
didn't
the
hear.
important bit. We got to see the imagery, but I wanted to make sure
That's what matters. That's all.
It's all about the imagery, and that's what it is with RPGs. It's not about the content. It's not about the story. It's not about the characters. It's about the imagery.
That's why they picked for tonight's game. That's the GM.
Yep.
How's it going, everybody? Justin, Chris?
Doing great. Ooh.
Hey, guys,
Doing good?
cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
To one and all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Clunk. What's everyone
Clonk.
drinking?
I'm drinking a Golden Axe from Chronicle Brewery, but it is
Labelless.
unlabeled, so anything at all could be in here.
Ooh. That's like Black Label, except no label.
What are you drinking, Justin?
Water.
Take a bite.
Milky water.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been coming out of the tap weird. Oh my god!
How
It's
much
so
booze is in
Christmassy
there?
over.
I need to know.
At least 7.
7
It's a
booze.
lot. Yeah, 7 booze. Yeah, bottles.
7 booze.
James,
I
what-
have 7 booze in this.
I presume your wife made you a beautiful cocktail. What do you have?
Of course she did. She made me an
wow.
Espresso Martini, which is an ounce of espresso and then 2 ounces of the world's best coffee liqueur, Mr. Black.
I think that one deserves a round of applause compared to our
Here's to
shite.
Liz. Here's to
Yeah.
Liz.
Chris, what are you drinking, buddy?
I'm drinking a English ale, Hockley Dark. Never tried it before. Mild, light body, full flavor. But I'm drinking it in a Chronicle glass. Kind of sacrilegious.
No, that's good. I think as long as you're promoting it and saying it like you just did, then we can get our money.
What do you got,
You can
Harlan?
pay us. I'm also drinking a Chronicle beer, the greatest beer on earth. Just kidding. First off, just to make it crystal clear, they don't pay us. They gave me a job when I lost my job during COVID. So these are great people. And I paid for all the beer. So, no, I'm drinking one of their Phantasm series, Rue Morgue. It is a Blackberry Swirl Milkshake IPA. It's actually really fucking good. So I'm a
Harlan,
fruity boy.
Can I just say your beard trim looks especially good?
Does it?
Yeah.
But you are coming from the comparative because I trimmed it today. So it was like this morning, and then now it's nice.
What
and clean.
noise does your beard make?
You know, it's like in
That's
Don't
the normal
Starve.
beard noise.
I forgot.
Listen.
It's like a wet sock hitting a window.
Oh, you mean like a mayonnaise-filled sock? Wet sock is so vague. Mayonnaise.
Sorry, I wasn't specific.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many wet socks you have hitting windows, but mayonnaise-filled socks. That's the one that I'm used to sound-wise.
So evocative.
Yeah, evocative. The idea of tonight's game is a weird one. Chris is going to be introducing that to us shortly. But if you are new to the stream, make sure that you check out our good friend James's podcast, Dimension Door. It's a wonderful little podcast.
Yes.
I don't mean little to sound demeaning. I meant I was just like an adjective. It was just a descriptor.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful
I understand.
podcast. Full stop. Well, I didn't
Wonderful,
want it to make it
sexy
seem-
podcast.
It's a wonderful, sexy podcast. It's a very sexy podcast.
They're an actual play of Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Doing the Pathfinders.
The Dimension Doors. They also have another podcast called Severed Fate, but watch the OG one.
Watch the OG one, but if you do want to check out Severed Fate, we did post our first holiday special. It is a wonderful 3-hour holiday romp.
Holy crow.
Yeah.
But don't watch it tonight. Watch this. And
Don't
then
watch
watch
it.
that.
Watch this. Watch that tomorrow. But it's really good.
Fun.
In the first 5 minutes, I was crying because I was laughing so hard.
I was gonna say, can you give us a
Amazing.
spoiler? How is it a holiday special? What made it special and
so
holiday?
I don't feel like I'm spoiling too much, but basically Santa gets COVID.
Oh,
Damn.
real. Shit got real on Severed Fate.
It gets real quick,
Wow.
but it's so good. It is absolutely amazing.
Quick
Good.
PSA, if I might. Stay home, stay safe.
Yeah, don't go out, you
It's
fucking
a holiday season, but
people.
please stay home.
The additional side of this being that, aside from Dimension Door and Severed Fate, that James has been joining us for the past few weeks. So thank you to James for hanging out with Invictus.
Ah, yeah.
Always. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is always so much fun, and I'm glad to mark every Wednesday night in my calendar for the foreseeable future for this.
Well, and on that note too, we are doing a campaign, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, through Invictus. So next Wednesday we'll be back with that.
If you feel like criticizing us,
If you like criticizing
please
us some more,
join
check
us.
that out.
Teaching us about the difference between 80s game and
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Appreciate it.
And then on the other side of the coin, we also
Mansplaining.
have a D&D podcast, Dice Shame. We have a audio drama called Malevolent, and we got, I don't know, other shit. We're just doing shit.
Hey,
you know what?
I got one.
Do
A sound booth theater. I work with sound booth theater, and recently Harlan helped produce, and he did all of the sound effects for a short story, about 2-hour audio drama called Kringle Down, and you can find that on the sound booth theater website.
Justin,
and,
you didn't have to say that. I mean, I appreciate that.
it's pretty damn. It's
written
pretty
by
damn
the creator of Deadlands.
Yeah,
correct?
written by the creator of Deadlands, of
Yeah,
course.
that's the Venn
a very
diagram.
the Venn
Shane
diagram.
Hensley.
Shane Hensley, yeah.
You got that.
So it's
Very nice guy.
some horror, it's some gore, and
Hold on. How is gore not a thing? That's the first time I've heard it, and that's a great title. Gorer. It's a gore horror. That
Gore
has to be a
horror.
thing already, right?
Well, it is. Yeah, Kringle Down. is that.
Trademark.
Yep.
This is the
Like
fucking
everyone,
time.
go to Urban Dictionary.
Yeah. Add it.
Get it in now. Coined by.
Yeah, Kringle Down, a lot of fun. Yeah, like Justin said, I did the effects on it, and his company put it together. It's a really good time. Honestly, it is. It's really funny. And then other bullshit we can plug. I don't know. We can go on forever. Chris is amazing. Go buy a green dye shirt to support him. Because I mean, it doesn't support him in any way. He doesn't get any of the money, but it's like an emotional support.
Yeah.
Is
I need
important
more.
to say.
Most for sure.
Chris is one of the OG members of Invictus. I will never forget or ever, I want to say live down, but that's too callous because I'm actually trying to be sweet here and sincere in saying that Chris and Justin and I started Invictus together as brothers and friends, and I'm so excited to be back here 5 years later doing another Christmas special. It's crazy.
You guys will be celebrating 6 years of Invictus in January, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh man. And you can go back and look at all the
Every
weird-
Wednesday night.
You can go. Yeah, you can go back and see little baby Chris and
Welcome to our inaugural
episode.
Episode
That's
of-
right. That's what I say. Of the Invictus stream. Back when the logo was like red and had skull wings that I just.
Oh
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's metal.
Skull wings. It's like skull with wings. Anyway, enough of this bullshit. Chris, what are we playing tonight?
We are playing a fantastic game set in the 1800s. We're using the string cipher system. So if anyone's watched any of our Numenera games, you'll be familiar with it. However, we're going rules light. It's been, I don't know how long since I've GM'd the game, so I was like, I could relearn the rules, or it's a Christmas game, so we'll do what happens when it happens. So that's what's going on tonight. So I don't know if you guys are ready, but I'd like to get right into the story. You guys ready?
Let's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
go.
Ready.
I got my nog.
Actually, I'm going to get another beer. Hold on.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Okay, we're not ready.
Might as well
No.
grab me one too. Then.
Typical.
You know what? I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and James, why don't you go do the thing?
Yeah, you know what? I have a quick 15-minute workout. If I could just go and
Right. Yep.
let me just plank for 15 minutes.
15-minute plank.
That's
Record
the
Not
dream.
bad.
8
Not
hours.
bad.
8 hours.
All right, boys. The joke was the workout. Let's not get into your P90X. We're back. Let's do this.
All right. So the night is foggy, as it tends to be in London, but this fog is particularly heavy. It seems it is leaking through every single slit under each doorway, every single keyhole. It's a really oppressive darkness outside, and you guys are gathered around the fire enjoying a beverage, a libation, at the end of the day, getting ready perhaps for taking the day off, as tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and you were all excited. You all work together. You work together in a paranormal capacity. You work together to rid people of ghosts and wraiths and other ghouls that tend to be haunting the streets. And tonight you thought it would be a restful night, thinking that you have nothing else to do, but you hear the sound of a paper sliding under your door. As you pick up the paper, you turn it over and you read the following message. Greetings. I'm requesting your services in a private matter. I believe only those with your type of experience could assist me. I am a proud businessman, and thus it is only at the end of my rope that I reach out for an outsider's intervention. I fear without your involvement, I should be dead as a doornail before night's end. Should you be able to help, the reward would be handsome. It behooves you to help me. No space of regret can make amends for one life's opportunity misused. Please come to my residence and be prepared. 90 Bayham Street, Camden Town, London. Perhaps my fate is sealed, but I hold to hope that if the courses before me be departed from, the ends will change. Signed, Jacob Marley. And there is truth to this. As you have not had a lot of business as of late, most people just try to pretend that the occult and supernatural does not exist, especially during the Christmas season. So you have had a few letters letting you know that rent is due and that the mortgage is due, and you have been missing some payments. So you are a little bit in dire straits. Around the room you sit, happy to have this letter, but also apprehensive, as you do recognize the name Jacob Marley from the moneylender who actually gave you the mortgage on the property which you now reside in. Now, this is not the first task that you guys have done. You guys are kind of a seasoned group of paranormal investigators. Around the room, you look at each other, knowing you're going to take the job, eager for the money. Who do you see? Who do you make eye contact with? And what is it that you see in that person first, I guess? So let's put it this way. Justin, who's your character? And what do they see when they look at you?
Well, my character is Mr. Crine, who is a mysterious librarian who explores dark places. He is tall and stick-like, and you can tell by the look of him, by his dry fingertips that look like they're just basically bone, that he spends a lot of time licking his finger and flipping pages in the archives, the dark archives, which he has sometimes playfully taken to calling the Darkives.
I was just about to say the Darkives.
Where he learns
Mr.
about
Crine.
gore.
Pardon me, narrator.
Where you read about gore.
I also read about Goro. I read about many dark, mysterious things in my archives. And I also like tea very much.
So you're more of an intellectual type, I'd say, based on your physical
Oh,
prowess.
most definitely not wrong.
All right,
You are.
Harlan, looking across the hearth where the fire is glowing, you're standing there by the warmth of the fire. What do we see when we look at your character?
You see a man looking down to the fire, the coals reflecting in his eyes. He brings up his wooden pipe and takes a before looking at the large mural above the fireplace, a depiction of 3 clothed figures, all similarly the 3 others in his apartment. For I am not technically a part of this agency, nay, I actually rent the room down the hall and just hang out here occasionally, for I am the Sherlock Holmes. I turn around to face the other 3, and after hearing whoever read the note aloud, says, "Well, I think that this might finally be an opportunity for me to prove, once and for all, that there are no ghosts. But, nonetheless, as always, I stand open to be proven incorrect, though no one is yet to do it." Sherlock says, confidently, and then he turns back towards the picture. And then he looks towards the small, bell-wearing person in the room, which I assume you're wearing.
James.
James is also wearing bells?
James is literally there, much miniaturized.
It's like eating popcorn. No, I turn towards Joe's character.
Yes. Mimi is not small, although maybe she seems that way. She's currently folded over an armchair. She's like trying to fix a piece of clockwork that has come undone from
The work that you're working on is actually from one of the packs that you guys often carry to when you're doing your business, which helps obviously with the supernatural and trying to trap demons and that type of thing.
So she's tinkering with this proto pack, and she's sort of bent over the armchair because a part of the one of the gears seems to have fallen down in between the cushion here. Just a second. What is that you were talking about? Her little shoes, red and green colored, have they're festooned with bells. This is not a sneaky character. Indeed, she's more of an intellectual, though she doesn't really seem like that at first. I found it. Here it is. What are you saying, Sherlock, about ghosts?
Nothing. I was just saying that once again, I look forward to the opportunity to disprove your little enterprise here, in a lovingly friendly way, of course.
Well, you're welcome to try. She looks over to the butler standing beside her.
Yes, and of course you see there standing Marshal Haverford, the town, the group's butler. He is a very tall and very buff man. Think very much kind of like a Jeeves, but totally jacked.
The voice sounds such a buff. Oh, so good.
Yes, I do say, Mr. Sherlock, you are in for quite the treat tonight, and I hope that after the evening is done, you will see once and for all that we are right and you are wrong, and you will finally pay up on our long-standing bet.
Believe me, you will not be the first to try to prove Sherlock Holmes wrong, but I promise you, unless we're dealing with vampires, which very much exist, I do not think that anything supernatural exists. And he sort of like awkwardly tries to hide the top roof of his mouth. Anyway, what else does the letter say?
The letter asks that you meet tomorrow at the address, being prepared. It seems to imply that you'll be working tomorrow, even on the day you hoped would be off for holiday.
A job is a job. Perhaps it will take us to very dark places indeed.
I mean, I personally am not one to ever really shirk my responsibility of working on Christmas. Kind of comes with the territory.
Yes, and of
Yes,
course,
and a butler never takes a day off.
and of course,
No,
despite
you
the
do not.
many invitations that I have gotten to Christmas, I suppose I could clear my calendar, though I do think it would be best to approach at night, out of the sheer light of day. I would assume that any specters that wouldn't exist would probably not want to be in the bright, burning, hot sun. You know?
He's not wrong.
Yes,
What
then
do
we
you
agree,
say,
the
Mimi?
pitch black and welcoming of darkness. Yes, darkness, Sherlock says, as he again hides the top of his mouth and turns around.
Well, he says that we should be prepared in any case, so I guess let's see to it that we're just all set to go.
What kind of equipment do we typically have? You've mentioned these proto packs.
So the proto packs are
Yeah.
inventions that you've made, Mimi. They have been used. They project a stream of hyperspeed protons, a proton stream, if you will, towards ghosts and ghouls and wraiths, and it seems to work enough to trap them in the stream as you pull them towards the jail system that you've also devised for yourself. So you all have these proto packs, but also in your research, much to the thanks of Mr. Crine, you also have come across artifacts that you carry upon yourselves as well. Each of you, I believe, has 2 artifacts that you can use at your leisure. They're artifacts that are pretty powerful, and you've learned how to use them, but you know that they're highly volatile. So you use those also in your tool belt. So you have those as well with you. Now, as far as weapons are concerned, if you guys do carry something, I mean, I imagine Sherlock Holmes would have...
Only my pen, good man. For Sherlock Holmes doesn't believe in any of this nonsense unless it's vampires, in which case he is very well prepared.
Well, I'm allowed to pick one other PC and give them an extra item of regular equipment that I made for them specifically. So I don't know who, but someone's got something cool, and it's totally elf style.
So who would like the cool elf style item?
I mean, sure, I would take it. I don't have anything else.
It's festooned with bells.
Oh, well, I do like bells. There's no garlic or holy
Unfortunately,
water.
Mr. Holmes cannot hear the bells because he doesn't believe in Santa Claus.
Oh.
I mean,
So
who
sad.
would believe in such a ludicrous thing as Santa Claus?
Well,
The only thing
he's
I
the
believe
evidence.
in is taxes and boring stuff.
Well, now you have a candy cane. I don't know, maybe like a cane sword type saber thing. I feel like that'd be cool.
That just went from mundane to amazing.
Yeah, it's like something that you could. It's like like a rattan cane that you can use as like a whip, basically.
And Sherlock is like,
But it's red and
my
green.
first Christmas gift. I mean, another thing for the pile.
Yeah, I mean, I just made this for you. There's a big bow on top, but you can take that off if it's a little too flashy.
You made this for me?
Yep.
No, it's flashy. I'm not big into flash. And he takes the bow off and ties it to his lapel.
Look at my sleeve.
Marshall Haverford slides into frame and hands Sherlock a handkerchief to dab his tears away.
Thank you, Marshall. You're a very good man.
Well, with that, you guys realize that tomorrow is going to be a busy day, and you have your preparations. Mimi, you finished the construction and the repair on the gear, and everybody else, maybe Mr. Crine, you get your book ready, and our butler, he goes around cleaning up after everybody, as he often does. And you decide to get an early night's sleep. When you wake up in the morning, it is another gloomy day, another foggy day outside, but you wait until about 4:30 when the night has started to arrive and you get ready to go. As you leave outside, you realize that although the night is dark and there's fog everywhere and that you could be oppressed by the depressive nature of winter, you get outside and you see that there's festivities about. There are people skating in the streets. There are people choirs singing. It is Christmas after all in London, and although the people are facing hard times, they are also very cheerful and ready to make merriment. Walking through the streets, you see people eating and selling these delicious cakes and breads. And one of the first groups that you see are a group of young children who seem to be mobbing and going up to those walking through the streets, and they approach you. They start actually patting down your pockets, and they keep asking, "Please, sir, do you have any spare change? A penny farthing, anything for it is the season after all."
Well, of course, and then Sherlock does that bullshit thing where it zooms into every little aspect of the kid's clothing. He's like, the mark on your clothing indicates that you've been on the street for no longer than 6 months, and this whole thing, and just begins prattling on as it fades out. He just talks to this kid, just doing this.
Doesn't have to pause, and the kid's
Kid's
goes to the next person.
Yeah,
and you realize the head kid, who seems to be Leading the way is Elijah Wood from his Flipper days.
Oh.
Would you like a shortbread cookie? I don't have any money, but I do have many cookies for some reason.
So you're trying to dissuade them from the money, and are you just talking to the person, Elijah Wood? Are you talking
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
And Elijah Wood reaches up and takes the shortbread cookie, takes it by, says, "Please, Mum, we'd like some more," and gestures to the rest of the kids.
Oh, I really don't have any. It was just the one.
Let's see here. Sorry, James, what is your character's name? I have him as Butler, but that's not right.
Marshall.
My character's name is Marshall Haverford. Yes,
Marshall,
Mr.
can you do me a
Mr.
favor?
Haverford.
I'm
Yes,
going
of
to do
course.
an intrusion. The kids who are patting your pockets are actually going to try to steal something from you, and it's going to be one of your ciphers.
No, I will beat
Now-
the shit out of them.
Kill those children.
You can roll to see if it's not even an intrusion. It's not just going to happen. You're going to roll to see if you can actually spot the pickpocket before it happens.
Okay, cool.
So you're gonna roll
So that's
a D20.
just a D20.
But
Okay.
before you do that, I'm going to ask
Oh.
if you have any assets, so anything in your character traits, just on your descriptor alone, or things that you would say you've done in the past that would help you make this a little bit easier, and or do you have any? Do you want to spend any effort? So you can spend 3 points from any of your pools, most likely intellect or speed, in order to lower the
Okay.
difficulty to catch it.
Okay. Interesting.
Or you can just roll the dice and see what happens.
I am a polite butler who gambles. So I don't know. I feel like
Gambling.
gambling, yes, but I think I know, like, as a butler, all of my things are in a very specific place, and
Yeah.
I keep a very orderly appearance.
You were like that with the fucking handkerchief. You knew.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that as an asset. So I'm going to lower it by 1 difficulty point. Can you roll a 1d20 and tell me what you got?
Okay, a 1d20, and I'm going to get a 5.
Good. This will be
So-
good.
The kids are proud. All of a sudden, one of the kids actually peels away from the group, and Marshall, you're none the wiser.
Okay.
However, in a few minutes, when you do check over your goods, you realize one of your ciphers is missing. You have to choose one of them that
Oh,
you've lost.
fuck.
That is easily going to be my monocle that would have temporarily given me X-ray vision.
Oh.
Because I am still wearing my other, which is a pristine white glove.
Chris, can I, because I'm Sherlock and I am a perceptive detective who solves mysteries, can I use one of my skills? I'm trained in all tasks identifying objects and or calling trivia and details of people. Can I roll to see if I recognize this as Elijah Wood from the future?
Like, if you can tell the future and recognize them to be
either one of two things is true. Either Elijah Wood the actor is back in time doing this, or Elijah Wood is a different actor in that time but still an actor, or in the movie of the week this is Elijah Wood and I still want to break the fourth wall. So those three options. You tell me which makes the most sense and I'll roll for it.
will allow you to roll to see if you can break the fourth wall.
Perfect.
Roll to break the fourth wall.
Natural 20.
Oh!
Fuck yeah, Sherlock
Holy shit.
fucking Holmes,
So
motherfucker.
Go ahead.
So not only do you recognize this to be Elijah Wood, an actor from a future, not only a future, but possibly a divergent timeline, you also get one major benefit. So I'll allow you to choose the one major benefit. Can I make a suggestion that you do recognize the little...
I was going
the
to
kid-
say that. I was going to say,
As
can I
an
get him a
option.
cipher back?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So major benefit, you do recognize the fourth wall. All
So-
of a sudden you...
Yeah, Sherlock. Yeah, it's like the camera pulls back. It's like a set almost, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I pull Elijah over, and I'm like, you're Elijah Wood, aren't you?
Guys, yes. Shh.
Now listen here, you little halfling. I understand that you might be researching a very interesting role, or that this entire production through Invictus Holiday Stream is meant to arouse some sort of tantalating fantasy, and I'm all on board. But what I am not on board with is steering that good Marshall's cipher. I saw your little friend do what they did, so let's make a deal. I'll ignore all of this, and I wave to Steven Spielberg next to the camera. He's like looking at the script frantically, and I'm like, well, I'll ignore that as long as you return my good friend's cipher. Deal?
Well, first of all, the role is Oliver Twist. I'm being Oliver Twist. He completely drops his accent, by the way. I'm being Oliver Twist. So I'm supposed to be pickpocketing for Fagin back there. He's around the corner. So that's where your cipher went. But there's also this other layer to it. I don't know. Steven Spielberg said something about like a role-playing realm, something like that. So if any of you do help me by giving me some pocket change, there's supposed to be a reward for you. So just so you're aware, I'm playing a role within a role, and now, okay. So I'm gonna go back to Oliver Twist. That's as much as I can tell you.
Understood.
Please, penny farthing. Anything in your pocket will help me through these hard times.
Let me speak with him. And I turn to Mr. Crine, and I'm like, Mr. Crine, can I borrow you for a second? And I like huddle with the three, but I speak directly to Mr. Crine. I'm like, so, just FYI, all of this is fake. Existence is meaningless. This is a film within an RPG. Elijah Wood, the actor, is not actually the actor in this, but played by my friend Chris Viseau, and I am Harlan. Either way, he needs to fulfill his role in order for us to get a benefit, so says Chris Viseau running the RPG. Please, if you can, empty some fictional coin into his pocket so that we can continue on and find the actual point of this game while I continue drinking. Done?
And Mr. Crine is kind of taken aback, but he doesn't want to show to anybody that he doesn't have any idea what this man is saying. Why, yes, of course, I follow you exactly, Mr. Sherlock.
Justin, I'm going to give you an intrusion if that's okay.
I would love an intrusion, please.
This is
Mr.
like
GM.
you do believe Sherlock Holmes. You've read this type of thing in some of the tomes you've found in your expeditions. It's some dark shit, though, right? Like you've never actually. It's scary. So psychologically, this is tough. I'm going to have you expend 3 points from your intellect pool in order for this to make sense on a level that's not going to cause you insanity. If you choose to do this, you will get 1 experience point. If you just choose to go along with it and no sanity spent, you will not get the experience point. So I want you to go a little bit crazy here. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise,
all right. I accept your intrusion. I will take your experience. And Mr. Crine, as he stands back, it all makes sense. From Encyclopedia A through 4, 7G, it all connected to this, and then I have the picture of all of the equations going across in front of me.
But except he understands them. He's like nodding.
Yes. And one of them is Joe in a elf hat.
Yeah.
Moving side to side.
I'm picturing Dean
with her name underneath.
Worlds within worlds.
Yeah. And sweat is pouring down his brow and dripping on his leather loafers. I do understand. And with a shaking, bony hand, he reaches into his deep pocket and he pulls out a halfpenny. And he looms over this young child who now he knows to be an actor who would later star in one of the greatest fantasy films in all of history, and drops the halfpenny into his hand, and continuing to shake, says, "Have yourself a Merry Christmas."
Elijah Wood with big blue eyes looks at you and looks directly at the camera, and then whistles. A stagehand with like an earpiece walks over and says, "Mr. Woods, what's the problem? What's the problem?" And he whispers in his ear, and then you see the stagehand run off, find the little kid, comes back, hands the eyepiece, the monocle to Mr. Marshall, and for some reason, Mr. Marshall, that all makes sense to you in the realm of the
Perfect. Yeah.
You don't actually notice the earpiece. You don't actually notice the accent change or anything. You just realize that this little boy, after receiving a penny from him, somehow got your monocle back, and it's fine. It's
like the butler's just like, I'm not paid to understand. I'm just here.
Obviously, this is something beyond the comprehension of my 6 intellect. Thank you.
So
my favorite part about that, Chris, is that you go, Elijah Wood stares at you and then stares at the camera. And
yeah,
like the camera is not real, but over here it's just funny. Nice.
So Oliver Twist, Elijah Wood's character, reaches into his pocket and pulls out kind of a handkerchief that's a little dirty, soot, as it is a very dirty town. It's London. And he hands it to Sherlock Holmes and says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kindness." and then he runs off to continue bothering other people.
No, of course. And you do good work. I always liked you. You were in a Kevin Costner movie once. And Sherlock nods.
And with a trembling
And winks and says, once, and runs away.
A sequel!
with a trembling hand and writing in his thick notebook, Mr. Crine steps over to Mimi and lowers himself down next to her so he can whisper in only her ear. And he says, I have heard of ghosts of the past, but I have yet to hear of ghosts of the future.
It's also interesting. I don't even know what kind of movie Elijah Wood was in that was with, what was his name, did you say, Sherlock?
Oh, I believe it was Kevin Costner.
Yeah, what movie was that?
It
was called The War. It was wonderful.
Let me see. Kangaroo. Oh, he had an extra. He was an extra in Robin Hood, actually.
No, he was in The War. It was a great film. I think that was Elijah Wood and Kevin Costner, wasn't it?
You're right.
Mimi,
No one will ever know. What did you say, Chris?
You do an intellect roll. Having Mr. Crine bend down to speak to you, you do notice the handkerchief that was given to him. What was it?
Oh,
It was to Sherlock.
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
rolled
say
a 7.
7. Okay, so you do recognize this actually to be one of those artifacts that we've talked about. There is a strange warmth that's resonating from it, like emanating from it. So you do feel warmth when you do get close to that. And being that, let's see here, Mr. Crine has 3 ciphers on him. You do have some knowledge that they don't like to interact with each other too much, and he's getting riskily high to the level of danger having 3 of these artifacts.
And it's Crine who has the handkerchief?
Yeah, we'll say Crine had the handkerchief just because he's the one who gave the penny farthing.
Sure.
Mr. Crine, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a kind of mechanical reverberance that's happening with that handkerchief that you're holding. I don't know how. I would need to examine it a little bit further, but it seems like there's something going on there.
Yes, and very fastly scribbling in his book, eyebrows furrowed, Mr. Crine nods and says, yes, of course, and just leans his pectoral pocket to Mimi, where the handkerchief is.
Ah, yes.
I'm actually able to carry 3 ciphers at a time. I don't know if that's an ability that anyone else has.
Oh,
I
yes,
can
yes,
totally
yes,
pick
yes.
this up.
Intellect, aside from Mimi.
What's that?
Did anyone put their edge point into intellect?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Nice.
And let's hear, I think Mimi will say that Mimi is capable to do it because of her tinkering and that type of thing.
Her elf
So,
power.
yeah, I'm going to say that Mimi's the only one who can do it.
I think that's fair.
Hell yeah.
Sherlock seems to know that this is all fake, so that's his big benefit.
Whatever, guys. It just doesn't
You
matter.
may take it. You may take the handkerchief. Take it from me. I'm starting to feel more chills while I hold on to it.
No problem.
She just pulls it out of his pectoral pocket and flourishes
Yes.
it around. What does it do? What's this whole
Well,
thing?
You want to do another intellect roll on it to find
I'd
out?
love to. Yeah, let me do better this time.
It's a 9 you have to beat, by the way, for this one.
Here we go. How's a natural 1 sound?
Oh.
I don't know what it does.
Good at wiping sorts away from little boys' faces.
Woo!
All right, so as you
Sherlock
continue on your way-
is like, I see the PA is motioning us to continue on, so let's pick up the pace and head to this Jacob Marley at 90 Bayham Street. I have a good feeling about this. What say you, Marshall? Butler friend?
Yes, of course. I would be pleased to move past all of this nonsense that I strictly do not understand.
How old is Marshall?
Marshall, he's in his 60s. He's completely bald. I forget who posted it, but since they posted it in the Discord chat, I can't unsee it. He is the super buff Master Roshi from Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Who's the guy
Colin
from,
posted.
Is it Ronin? Who's the one from, you guys are probably aren't fans, but the Last Airbender? I think it's Ronin. Awesome. Watch
These
the
are both
series.
references I don't know. But I did see the picture, and I totally understand.
And
I was
I'm-
thinking he was more weak. I was gonna like dab the blood from his ears, like dripping. But
Definitely enjoying the Pura reference as well.
who?
It doesn't matter.
I don't know any of these people.
I got the Worcester sauce reference.
I like Worcester.
that
Worcester. Worcester. Let's go, shall we? Pip pip and all that.
And
Yes,
as you go along your
yes.
way, it is a dirty street. There's people pouring their their poop and pee into the
Urine.
streets.
Merry
Christmas, sir.
By the way,
that's up.
soundtrack for this stream that is playing in all of your heads was written by Danny Elfman.
Nice. Let's just play it.
So
Christmas streams are always copyright hit.
Boom, 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 boom.
As you guys walk along,
No.
Marshall, younger man stops you in the street and says, "Marshall, how are you?" Let me get in character. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to.
That was good.
Marshall,
That's good.
How are you? Totally, Marshall. How are you? And he shakes her hand, eagerly shaking her hand, and you recognize it to be Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
Holy shit! Keanu Reeves!
Oh,
Marshall, yeah.
What are you doing in London?
Whoa, I had no idea you'd be here. And he shakes her hand and he says, I mean, I've met you on worse circumstances by far. I'm sorry about that last visit. As you realize that this is Ebenezer Scrooge.
oh
Marshall.
no.
And we've met Ebenezer Scrooge on a few occasions. Obviously, when you first were looking to find a piece of land and a building for you guys to work out of,
Of course.
signing papers. But as of late, he's been sent by Jacob Marley and on behalf of their business to actually let you guys know you guys are behind in rent. It is a bright-eyed young man with a glimmer of ambition in his eyes, a warm smile on his face, very eager and happy to meet you. He's carrying a Christmas wreath, a beautiful garland, decorated to the fullest potential for Christmas. So much joy in his eyes. He says, I'm going to go meet my fiance, Belle, and I'm just so happy to meet you in the streets. So I just want to know, I'm a little worried about you guys. Jacob Marley, he's really keen on getting money. He says it's the harvest season for the money lenders, and he's really pointing my way towards you guys. So if there's anything I can do to help you guys, I will definitely help you. But just know that you really need to pay your mortgage. And he says this all to you, Marshall.
I'm quite aware. We are currently on our way to perform some duties for looking for the name.
For Jacob
We're for
Marley.
Yes, we're on our way to do some work for Mr. Marley. He has sent us a missive. We are doing some contract work, which I am sure he is going to knock off a sizable sum of our mortgage payment.
Great. God bless you guys. God bless everyone. And he goes and hugs everybody. And he actually says, hey. And he puts the wreath around Mimi's head. Merry Christmas. And he goes on his way. He's like, great.
Huge fan, by the way. I
That's-
say as he's leaving.
Fucking offensive, man. Just because I'm an elf doesn't mean that I want this.
Oh, relax. He didn't know you were an elf, Mimi. He was just trying to be nice.
Yes, Mr. Keanu is so fucking high all the time. I'm
He's
surprised
really
he even
crazy.
recognized us.
Yes, Mr. Ebenezer Keanu Reeves Scrooge. Interesting. He seemed like such a jolly fellow. I should say that.
Yeah,
he was
everything you know
quite-
about him. He's upstanding. He's a businessman, but he never puts business in front of friendship and kindness.
And Sherlock turns to the camera and says, "Well, this is a different Ebenezer than we know and love. Let's keep watching and find out more."
So good. All right, as you approach you're getting closer to the house. Who's leading the way? Do we have a walking order here?
Sherlock will be taking the lead.
And you come upon the address. The door it's a noble building, and you see hanging above the door the name Marley and Scrooge. I think that's what it would say.
I think this is the place.
S&M.
90 Bayham Street. Now, I want to reiterate my character arc is that I don't believe in ghosts, and that I am here to disprove that I have a sizable wager against anybody, and also I'm definitely not a vampire. Anyone else want to reiterate their character before we go in and have some silliness?
I'm totally an elf. What's up?
Mr. Crine is a man of mysteries and wants to discover the deep, dark secrets of London.
And I have a gambling problem.
Right, well, odd to reveal that, but we appreciate your honesty.
It's almost like the audience. We need to make sure that
I suppose I'll do this, and I knock on the door. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta.
as soon as you go to knock on the door, your hand is seized and grips the ring that is the knocker of the door.
Ah! There's a woman's breast grabbing my hand.
You hold it, and the ring shrinks on your hand as you pull it away. And from where the ring was before, in the knocker, you see the face of John Goodman.
Say that again. You kind of
Woo! Let me get into character one more time.
good. You kind of want to hear it.
Reeves, by the way.
You did great candidates.
Thank you. He says, what did I say here?
I want to know what the directions that you've written to yourself might be.
Okay.
Don't worry, Chris. It's only a game.
I know.
Everyone loves you. Everyone loves you. Everyone loves you.
Chris, everyone loves you. Let's give a big round of applause for Chris and his amazing character.
Fuck yeah!
Christmas is not Christmas without a celebrity-studded event. Christmas holiday games
wonderful.
always are like those old TV specials.
Oh, we'll have lots of celebrity appearances. I was like, oh, rewrite. Oh, rewrite. Yeah.
Well, to me, that's the fun of these games. It's kind of like those old shows where the doorbell rings and Bing Crosby opens and it's fucking like David Bowie or some shit. And you're
Keanu
like,
Reeves.
oh, it's
Right,
from
right.
David Bowie. And you're like, what? That's the funniest part.
All right. So John Goodman says, oh, what does he say?
Good stuff.
Oh. He's a large man.
Entering a house of pain.
Ah!
Is
And
this isn't Nom. There are rules. You're entering a world of pain.
And Sherlock tries to pull his hand back. He's like, oh, Jesus. And I am trained in deduction and nothing useful. So he just freaks out and turns to the butler. He's like, butler,
Excellent. Yes,
please help me.
And Marshall Haverford turns to the now it's like a face coming out of the door, right?
Where the door knocker used to be is now the face
Yeah.
of John Goodman.
Ah. Oh.
Sir, how dare you accost the great Sherlock Holmes? I do say you, sir, are going to have it.
And I take off my pristine white glove and I slap it across John Goodman's face.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I am going to
Whoa.
use my cipher,
Okay, which is what? Can you explain?
which is a pristine. I call it the pristine white glove of whoop ass. It is a white glove that, once removed and struck against a target, provides an exceptional amount of force.
Ooh.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to use this. I'm going to lower the difficulty by 3 steps. Originally, because it's this kind of like paranormal, innate object, brass, really hard object, I was going to do like a 7 for like any causing any damage. So I'm going to actually lower it down to a 4.
Cool.
So
And I'm
3 is 12.
using-
You have to roll over a 12 in order to be successful. 12
And
or
that's
higher.
with my might, right?
Can I aid him in any
Now,
way?
you can use effort as well if you'd like to.
Can I also aid him?
You can. That is an option.
So I'll aid by pulling away. And you can see Sherlock's desperately trying to like fight back his upper lip. He's like,
So with the aid of Sherlock giving you a full range of motion, you need to get a 9.
On the
But
die.
if you want to use it, yeah.
And that's after I add my might.
What are you saying over there? I can hear you whisper.
oh, I
No.
said, he's a vampire. Shh, I'm keeping it really subtle.
So the goal is a 9, right? And then I roll a die and I add whatever my might score is.
No, you roll
No?
the die. You might pool. You
Okay.
can use 3 points right off the bat to lower it by 1 step of difficulty. So right now you have to roll a 9. If you played 1 more point, you would have to roll a 6.
Okay.
So if you lowered it by 1 point, you have to roll a 6. Basically, your pools can be used for effort. So if you want to apply extra effort, like really swing into...
An easy and weird way to think about it is you can basically spend hit points to make your rolls more likely to succeed. It's like you take off, because you have an edge in might, right?
Yes.
So
it costs you
basically,
2
you would
points.
spend whatever your might is right now. Let's say it's 10. You could make it an 8 right now, and you would only have to roll above a 6.
Okay.
It's very
Cool.
weird.
I'll do that because what are points if not for spending? So I will
real.
spend 2 from my might.
All right.
Right? That's how that works.
Yep.
Sure. You spend
Cool.
2 from your right. And because we were at 6 from the help of Mr. Sherlock Holmes, we are now at a 3. You just got to be 3.
A 1.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
So John Goodman turns and bites the handkerchief, catches it in his teeth, and swallows it.
The glove.
Mr. Crine steps forward.
You, sir, how dare you decline my duel?
Mr. Crine reaches over and grabs Mr. Haverford's shoulders and pulls him back and says, "No, no, wait!" And he leans in very close at the snarling John Goodman. And he pulls out a device that I'm just gonna say is a tool. It's not a cipher or anything, but this is a ghost hunting tool that Mimi helped build. And it's just a simple thing. It's got a thermometer inside that you can stick it on a spot, and it will tell if the temperature is lower, which might be an indication of a ghost. And he explains that to everyone, and he sticks it right in the mouth of John Goodman.
The door knocker.
So
Tell
yeah,
if this
just
is-
to be clear, everyone does have virtually everything in a steampunk sense from that game we played.
Phasmophobia.
That's the one.
Phasmophobia.
fun.
Yes.
Anything there you would have as well. So in this case, this works. And right away, the temperatures drop down to like -4 degrees.
We got
Ooh.
freezing temps.
You see this? You see this, Sherlock? Tell me now that ghosts don't exist.
Sherlock,
It doesn't
is-
exist, I say. It doesn't exist. I mean, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
So John Goodman looks at you and goes, "Give me back my ring. Give it back."
I don't have any rings on my hand. All
The
my
ring
rings
that
are
you
on this one.
The knocker that you took was a
Oh,
ring.
right. Everyone relax. Maybe I can talk some sense into this thing. It seems like I'm holding on to the ring and it just wants me to let go. And I'll be dead before I do that. And I turn back and I'm like, I'll never let go. And I just start fighting it. Sherlock doesn't concede ever.
This is going to be a really challenging day for all of us, I think.
So, Sherlock, are you choosing not to give back the ring?
Fine. I
No. Whatever you want to
let
do.
go of the ring, but I don't tell anyone I did. So I let go of it.
So you give it back to John Goodman and you put it in his mouth?
Yeah. I put it in his mouth and then I'm like, oh, magic forced it in my hand to just whoomp right back into it. I fought, but it's no use.
Did you say that the magic did that?
No.
It's so weird.
No,
As soon as you do that, the face turns back into a door knocker, and the door swings open.
Now let me say this clear for everybody to listen. There is no such thing as ghosts. However, that was definitely ghost adjacent, and I will admit, in no financial way, that perhaps more than vampires exist.
Weird and interesting. Let's go in.
And I open the door.
So Mimi opens the door, walks in, no problem. Does anyone follow her?
Yes,
Of
absolutely.
course.
Of course.
Archie
And I
walks
take-
in, no problem.
I'm going to take
And
that
Mr.
extra
Crine walks in,
pack.
no problem. Unfortunately, for some reason, Sherlock Holmes cannot enter the building. He hits some sort of barrier.
Oh, can someone invite me in real quick, please? Don't want to explain why. It'd be awkward.
Yes,
Oh,
please. I
it's-
am most accustomed to this.
And Marshal Haverford will go over and close the door
In front of...
in front of Sherlock. Yeah.
Okay.
Sherlock starts like looking around the building.
And then he'll open it.
Ah, Mr. Sherlock, you are expected. Please do come in.
Jolly good, thank you.
Nice.
And I
That's
walk in.
awesome.
As soon as everybody enters, the door closes behind you, and you hear immediately chains rattling, and it sounds like it's coming from every space in the house. And then you hear the sound of bells ringing everywhere, sonorously. The whole space rings with bells, 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 and stop. and you hear a voice coming from a room just off to your right. And it says, "Oh, it does that all the time. Come on in, guys. Come on in." And there before you is Bill Murray, ready to reach you.
What the fuck?
Starstruck.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Yeah, great. I'm gonna get a drink. You guys want to come with me? And he walks into the back. Yeah.
I don't know who you are, you charlatan, but all right. And I follow.
Oh, sorry.
Follow Bill Murray.
Sorry about the formality, Jacob Marley. Just call me Bill. It's fine. And he pours himself.
Bill Jacob Marley.
Bill is short for Jacob Marley. And he pours himself a scotch, and he immediately, when you enter the room, you realize the temperature drops. It's very, very cold in here. You can see your breath, and you see in the center of a room, in front of a open fireplace, there is a gurney with lots of straps and things like that. Around the floor is a pentagram with salt all around the floor, and you see Bill stretch, and he climbs up into the gurney, and he starts fastening things, starting with his feet, working his way up. And he says, "Welcome."
Do you need some assistance?
I do. And he gestures to his one hand as he's getting closer to the top. He says, "Yeah, can you grab that one down there?"
Yes,
if you do it, if you struggle, it's okay. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter if you don't get it right, okay? And he starts, trying to get you to help him out.
Yeah, I do that. I am a polite butler. I will help out our host.
I'm going to give you advantage on this roll, Marshall, but can you roll for me all the same?
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, you can apply obviously anything if you have any. It's kind of it's an intricate situation here, trying to fasten him as best you can. I imagine. Are you trying to do a good job? Are you just trying to tie it up, or how are you trying to do it?
I am trying to do a good job. Yeah.
Okay, like really tie him down.
Oh yeah, that seems to be what he wants. I am accommodating. I will definitely try and tie him down as best I can.
Okay.
While this is happening, Mr. Crine is
19.
going around the room, looking under desks, under rugs, under tables, putting the temperature thing in there, just kind of going around the room.
By the way, the pentacle was drawn in chalk. I think I might have said salt, but it's chalk.
Mm-hmm.
You do a fantastic job, Marshall. He's well bound, and he looks at you and goes, "Oh, well done. Been practicing, I think."
Yes, thank you, Mr. Marley.
Are you looking for business? And he's obviously trying to inquire to see if you'll be butlering for him. And while you're looking well, Mr. Crine, you do find tomes and stacks of book about the occult, many of which you've read in the past. Some you've only heard about that cost a great deal of money to find, but clearly Mr. Marley, Bill, has been doing lots of research.
Can
you want to
you
do a search? Can you do a roll to see if you find anything of intrigue?
I would love to. What would I be rolling? This is intellect?
20. Yeah, just roll a 20. You can use intellect if you want to apply any effort.
Okay. No, I will simply peruse around the room casually. That is a natural 1.
Oh my god, we're rolling like balls.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do a natural, an intervention. Because I get to do an intrusion just for the natural one. As you're walking around, you don't notice this, but your foot actually scuffs the pentacle on the ground.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So it's not a perfect pentacle.
Sherlock is like walking around the room, avoiding mirrors. He's like ducking under them and like walking around and like standing back. He's like, "Yes, I've heard very little about you, Mr. Jacob Marley. Was it? We were quite interested by your letter. Of course, it wasn't sent to me directly, but to these fine people who invited me along. I am, of course, the Sherlock Holmes. And I hope you don't mind, but I believe this ghost business to be a bit of, how can I say this kindly, fucking hogwash."
All right, Sherlock, shut up. Now listen. You sent us a letter because you said that without our help, you might be dead before the night's out. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, you're little, aren't you?
Yeah, shut up.
Right in the eye.
She told me to shut up too.
When you look directly in his eyes, you see there is a glint in his eyes just for a moment. A glint of sad evil that appears in his eyes and then immediately is gone. And he says, "Thank you guys for being here. Sorry about the formality. Yeah, what's going on?" "Well, here's the thing. I'm possessed. I didn't think I was for the longest time, but I have not been acting myself, and it comes in spurts. I've been lucid. I wrote you that letter when I'm lucid. I'm lucid now, but it's not going to last. I'm being possessed, and I need your help. Like I said, dead as a doornail by morning for sure. So, need your help.
Why do you think that? Why is that the case?
Well, as your friend there, as he gestures to Mr. Crine walking around, can see I've done lots of research, and yeah, I've just been not acting myself. I have whole moments, days, weeks even, when I don't know what's going on. And I wake up in a cold sweat in my bed or elsewhere, and I've done horrible things. I've done some horrible, horrible things. He explains that he doesn't recall much of what happens during these episodes, but it seems like he goes in and out of episodes of being completely possessed, what he believes is to be a demon of greed. He's been trying to fight the demon, and he's been trying to do these rituals, and you can see the ritual that's taking place here as part of the ritual. He says, but I believe in doing some, I've made a terrible mistake. I believe that I've actually called forth more spirits into my abode, and now they haunt my house. So yeah, that's just too much for me, and so I kind of felt like I need to call the experts.
Why do you believe it's a demon of greed?
Well, and he looks at his house and gestures, and you can see it's beautiful, it's lavish. He says, last year at this time, I lived in a one-bedroom apartment with 6 other bachelors, and we were sharing a saltine cracker for the feast of the eve of Christmas. In that time, I think I've evicted 16 families from the homes that I've overpriced their mortgages. As you guys know, you are partly a victim to what I've done, increasing the cost of the mortgage, the rates, year in, year out, exponentially. And that is not in my nature.
Trans America, am I right?
Do you think that you just spontaneously accumulated this demon, or did you do something specific to elicit it to possess you?
They say money is the root of all evils. Perhaps me just, counting money and having that as a goal has turned me this way.
Did you try to just give away all your money?
It's true, we can take it.
Well, would that be the case? I would, but even if I try, for a moment, I'm taken over by this demon, and I lose all control, and I tend to do worse things for it. So I find it's best that in the moments of lucidity, I don't directly try to oppose it.
How often do you have moments of possession?
Well, I'm tying myself down, as you can see, and he gestures to the bed.
Good job, Marshall.
Before long, possess me, and it'll call forth the demon, and you might be able to see it firsthand. Now, what I ask is that I think, and I could be wrong, these other spirits that I've summoned by mistake will make it that much worse, and this will be the first time that has happened, so I'm quite fearful. And as he says that, you hear the ringing bells again and the clanging of chains coming from what seems to be below your feet.
Right, these other demons, how many are there? Demons.
I don't know.
It's really quite simple, Bill. I understand you feel like you're possessed, but this is things that we've explained and experienced in many different forms in the psychiatric community. We call it greed. We call it Trump's America. The desire to want to hurt other people for your own personal gain is a very Republican point of view. In fact, we find that... I'm kidding.
It wouldn't be a
relax.
Christmas stream if it wasn't political.
Chill. Everyone's asshole got tighter.
So this ritual here will banish the demons. Oh, no ritual.
No, yeah, sorry. I was just going, "Ugh," as if, we didn't want Harlan to talk about Trump.
Oh, I will continue to.
No, yeah, that's why I was making
I
a
was
stupid
blaming the
face
people
when
who
I
got
did it.
upset by what I said, not apologizing for what I said.
Yeah. No, but continue with
I
actually
doubled down.
playing the game, Justin. Let's move
Yes. So this ritual...
Now, if we do a
Yes.
ritual now and we try to take the demon out of me, I think you're gonna be doubling down. Really, you're gonna have to face all the other spirits that.
Yes.
So
You say double down?
Are you wearing
And
your
you see the
goose jacket?
star in his eyes just glimmer.
Can I ask, James?
It says do the ritual now, but you could do it, but I guarantee you'll have to face all the other spirits I've summoned, and I can barely face the Screed demon alone. So, I mean, you're the experts. If you guys want to do that, let's do it.
Yes.
What I suggest, and I could be wrong, demon, you guys are the experts. You go and you go and meet the other demons, the other spirits, whatever. You get to know their business and maybe help them out. Maybe they're not actually malevolent. Maybe they're meant to be benevolent, just tools of the trade, as it were. I'm just a rich man stuck to a table, a gurney right now. So, it's on you guys.
And when Bill says malevolent, he turns to the camera and winks.
Yeah, I was just
Nice.
Do you need anything before we leave you here in this room by yourself so that we can go and fight all the demons? Or do you need like a drink of water or like a video game? Do you want me to put the TV on?
Marshall is standing there, and he has with him a glass of brown liquid that he sets next to Bill's face with a little bendy straw coming out so he can grab it with his mouth.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
I appreciate that. You're definitely in the service industry.
Got that from a chamber pot.
Ooh.
But it's Sherlock shit, so it's
That's why
good.
I pour my single malt whiskey, so thank you.
Well, if all is said and done, perhaps we should take a look into the deep, dark basement of this abode.
All right, everyone, check your equipment. Sherlock, you don't have to always do that when I say check your equipment.
It's my character arc, and I'm about to be wrong. Relax.
I want there to be like one of those like shots that like zoom in really quick on different parts of your body as you're like check.
We
Is
call
there
that
a name for
fucking
that?
Sam Raimi shot. And
That's
yes,
Sam
please.
Raimi? Okay, we're going to do a Sam Raimi on all the ghost hunting equipment we all have where it's like, what the fuck did you call it? Proto pack.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil Dead shot. where it's like,
Ciphers and
whoom,
exactly.
whoom. Oh, right, look. I'll follow you there. But let's make a little wager halfway through. If I can't talk some sense into this spectre, then you can zap and whap and wiggly-do, whatever you do. But I believe that I'd be able to uncover the mystery. Haven't you all seen Scooby-Doo? Look, when I was with the hounds of some Baskerville, they thought it was real spooky, but it wasn't. Happens all the time. It's kind of a bit of a trope, really.
Sorry, I just wanted to quickly draw everyone's attention to this beautiful figurine that Carly made for me by hand.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Can you bring
it's-
it closer to the screen
hold on.
so I marvel in its beauty?
Yeah.
This is a unicorn that Carly made for me.
Wow.
That's
Check it out.
fantastic.
Plug for the holiday gift
Is that-
this year, by the way.
Oh
This
my
is
god.
the last unicorn,
What I love is the tail.
right?
definitely-
All of it is beautiful. It's handmade, hand painted, all of it.
What's it made out of?
Too. Wow.
Ask
Carly, what's it made
her.
out of?
Some kind of clay.
Carly, what's it made
It's got
out
a,
of?
like a little crack
Wonderful.
here on the paw. I was worried, but I think it's gonna hold.
Shout out
Okay.
to the amazing holiday gift exchange this year, by the way. This year, the community started the first one, and it was amazing. We received and got many gifts. I just got mine yesterday. I got an amazing set of dice from Jessica and Alexi. These are the official red die from Dice Shame. They're so
Gorgeous.
fucking
Right
cool.
Holy
on.
shit.
They're legitimately gorgeous. I absolutely adore them. She
I
gave
got
us
my
a
set right here. Ding
Yeah.
ding.
Beauty.
And they're exactly what I envisioned for red. I mean, admittedly, she asked and was like, "Well, perfect set B," and I'm too dumb to really put together. Genuinely, I was like, "Oh, probably this." But they're so cool. They're very fox-like in their color, and they're just like they got white and a little bit of black and whatever. And then they also got a Lego set for Henry and I, and it's just
Oh, that's so sweet.
everyone who got the holiday gift openings and exchanges, it was such an amazing time. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to do it again next year.
Next
I kind of
year.
thought, I mean, this was all Bobby, I'm pretty sure that did it.
Yeah, I mean Bobby
she-
and I think also
Yeah, there were a few other people, but I know she spearheaded like Katie too.
Katie
also.
was involved.
Either way, it was basically the first Invictus gift exchange, and it would be remiss we would be remiss without mentioning during the holiday game. So absolutely huge success. For those of you who haven't got your gifts, I'm hoping they still come. If you don't get your gifts, then I guess maybe we'll figure that out. I don't really know what that issue is.
Oh, it was Jessica. Jessica was the one who was helping with it.
Jessica gave us the things. It was amazing. Such a fucking amazing time. So huge round of applause to everybody who made that happen and everyone who participated.
I think there was 20 of us. International people got stuff from overseas.
Yeah.
People got local stuff. It was pretty lovely.
It was a lot of fun. And yes, that is a chicken on my wrists, Alec. That's the chicken of depression. Just heads up. That's his name. All right. I realized halfway through when you showed that, I'm like, well, we got to mention the fucking holiday gift exchange. That was like amazing. All right. Back to the game. Sorry, Chris.
No, don't be sorry. That sounds
We just
awesome.
finished all the Sam Raimi shots.
Awesome. Everything's cool. Yeah, Sam Raimi's still going on like a long time.
It's
like
a long.
Yeah.
So much.
And you
At least
have all
20
these-
minutes of the film.
The ciphers are so strange too. It's like close up on a packet of hot chocolate, close up on an egg,
Yeah.
close up on a handkerchief.
On an egg.
Right.
Close up on an
Right.
egg holder.
Yes. I've got, actually, because my cipher is an egg, I've constructed this little, it's like a purse strap across my body, but it just holds a single egg down here on my hip.
And I
James,
feel like
what?
Now, James.
James,
that?
what is that?
Don't know. Elizabeth just brought it to me. It's a mug that I made with my face on it, which is wonderful. I just
Oh, no.
No, you spilled
tossed
it.
all
No.
over me. It is delicious looking. It has a toasted
Wow.
marshmallow on it.
I'm
What
jealous.
does the bug say?
Marshmallow. Oh my
God.
God.
Wow.
What a woman.
Hubba.
Man.
Well,
All right. 3 drinks
Okay,
in.
well, I
Let's
can't
go.
Follow that. I
Let's
mean,
do it.
and while you're doing, I think while the montage is happening, you see fucking Sherlock in the corner, kind of like pouty.
But
His-
he's eating. He's eating from like the
No, I
what's
think
it
he's-
called?
I think he's just
The
pouty.
food
He's like,
table that's there, like at movie sets and stuff.
yeah.
like,
It's like the I know
Oh,
he's
caterer.
mellow.
Caterers.
caterer's table. But he's also no, he's like in the corner and he's like pouting a little bit. He's like, and he's kind of like, I could have been part of this team. Whatever. I mean, it's not a big deal. Australian a little bit now. I don't know. Whatever, mate. Like, whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. But he's like a little bit down under, and he's sitting over there and he's like eating, and then he walks over and he like kicks the little can. And he walks over to Marshall. He's like, you wouldn't have another pack, would you?
Mimi, do you have another pack?
Sherlock. It's so funny. What was that you were just saying over there? What was that? I'm sorry.
I was wondering if you have another pack. Look, no one invited me anywhere for Christmas. Nobody wants to be friends with me, and I'm a vampire.
Mimi pulls a tablecloth off a proton pack that's like hanging out in the corner, and it's like sparkling. There's like a whole shit ton of glitter all over it. She's like, I made one for you.
He like walks over and straps it on. It fits perfectly.
It matches the like little rattan cane that you have.
It matches the size of my ego. Thank you.
Wait, and also you can just press this button.
And like 2 little lights go off on either side, and it's just red and green. Blink, blink,
Aw.
blink, 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 blink.
Meanwhile,
guys.
Marshall is over at the liquor cart, and he pulls out a blood pack that is various members of the team actually have the same blood type, which is super convenient. So he pulls out a spare blood pack, and then he fixes Sherlock up a real Bloody Mary.
Well, the thing is,
Whoa.
you didn't actually have to bring your own because Bill Murray uses it for when he's doing his blood exchange.
Detox. Oh,
Perfect!
Oh, okay.
look at this. This really is Christmas, guys. All the free blood, no one trying to stake me through the heart, and a brand new proton pack. Guys,
Well,
I
again, you hear-
regret trying to sue you.
you hear the clanging again of chains coming from beneath your feet, and you're sure
yeah.
that it's from a lower chamber in the house.
All right, everybody, get all of your ghost shit ready.
And Mimi pulls out her EMF detector. It's old timey. It's gonna make like a little bloop, bloop, bloop when she comes into the presence of a particularly terrifying ghost.
And I'm gonna pull out my I guess no. I think the librarian would do the book, so I'll do the spirit box.
Are we just like
But
phasmophobia now?
it's a record. It's like a
yeah, gramophone.
gramophone. Thank you. And like the needle's just running on a blank disc. That's fucking hilarious.
Right.
My EMF reader too is like chugging out little exhalations of black smoke because it's fed by coal powder that you have to keep like sprinkling into a little drawer.
Yes, of course, and I have the most advanced piece of technology of them all.
It's an empty book.
A blank book and a feather tip pen.
Awesome.
Marshall pulls out a candle, black wax candle, which he lights, which emits a
UV.
black light.
Black wax.
A black wax light candle.
I just want to play Phasmophobia
Yeah.
after this now.
All right, let's play.
Yeah, me too.
Phasmophobia.
So going to the house, you don't have any reading real quick. And going down the stairs, and right away the temperature starts dropping, and your reader, Mimi, starts going off the chart.
We got freezing temps confirmed.
It's colder than the North Pole down here.
But you're down in the basement, and again, the gramophone, who's now like recording sounds.
No, it's got the and I'm asking. I'm like, is there anyone here?
Yeah,
And
right.
I'm listening to the gramophone to respond.
If you build it, they will come.
Kevin! I look around.
Hey, Kevin. Boom! The lights go on, and you realize you're in kind of like a workshop, and there's a man, middle-aged, a little later maybe, and he's hammering away. Tink, tink. If you build it, they will come. It's taken forever. That really Sam Raimi montage took forever. He's hammering away there. He's kind of like a balding, blondish, a little bit of gray, fatherly figure working away with a hammer. Tink,
Yep.
tink, tink.
And Sherlock puts his erection into his pants so he doesn't walk around with a boner and approaches the man.
And he
he
turns
says-
around, and sure enough, it's Kevin Costner. Turns around.
And
He goes-
Kevin or fucking Sherlock says, Kevin Michael Costner, are you real?
Yeah, I'm real. How are you doing?
I can't. And I turn away and blush and wait for the others to deal with it. It's too much.
He seems to be working around, and you see him like pull a chain link out, and he attaches it to this massive chain that's actually encircled the entire room, the space that you're in. And he's building this. He's obviously forging this chain. That's what he's been working on.
Are you a
You kinda-
spirit, Kevin?
I'm maybe in like a faraway voice. He answers you. Yeah, I guess I am a spirit in a way. I forged the chains, and he keeps hammering away. Tink, tink.
Is that what you meant? Build it, they will come. Build more chains, and people will come to get chained in them?
Well, I was expecting you guys, and I'm glad to see you. Thank you for being here. Ting, ting, ting.
Of course,
yes.
Mr. Kevin. Tell us, how may we assist you?
Well, the way I see it, there's others like me who are here, and they're not here in the way they're meant to be. They've been corrupted by Bill upstairs. Bill, what a guy. And he puts another chain on. You see, I, like they, are here kind of like tools to help people change their ways. I make these chains for people who, forget to give and just take, greed. And in their afterlife, they are punished with chains. And so I forge these chains for people. There are others here who try to help people before that happens. I don't like making this chains. I don't like doing this work, but I do it because I know it needs to be done. I know that people who are greedy need to have repercussions to that greed. So I make chains.
God, you're so smart.
You know what? You remind me of my son, and he puts a hand on you.
So what you're saying is you're a jailer.
No, a jailer is not. Jailer. I
You
mean,
put people in chains, don't you?
I do, but they are forced to walk the earth endlessly to remember what kindness and opportunities they had that they missed. So jailer.
Mimi,
just
he's
forged
more
it.
like Satan.
He's more like what? Sorry, say that one more time.
Satan. You're more like the devil.
Oh.
In a good way.
Yeah, And he goes on and he says, we're not malevolent or benevolent. We just do our jobs, and my job is to make the change. Same with the people who are up there. And he said, and he explains to you that tonight you're going to face.
What is this? More spirits around us? Are they going in the chains? They sound young. Too young for chains.
This is so sad.
And he takes out this little chain.
Kevin, can you?
Your help. We need your help to. I'm lucky because my job is still working. I haven't been denatured, but the others who have been corrupted by Bill will not be. Don't think of them so much as like conscious beings who are trying to be cruel to you. They really have a job to do, and they've been corrupted in their job. The things that they are going to do tonight is not the way they are meant to be. There's a greater evil at play here. You're going to face 3 spirits. One spirit will be coming at 1 o'clock tonight, and then 2 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock. Christmas Day, as it were, and you will have to deal with a spirit of Christmas past, a spirit of Christmas present, and a spirit of Christmas future. But they are been corrupted, and if you do not help them, if you do not allow them to do the job they are meant to do, they will actually work against you, and the demon that is possessing Bill, the greed demon, will be reinforced by these spirits tonight. So you need to make sure that you do everything you can to help them and to find out what it is that they can help you with.
We'll do it, Kevin. We'll do it, or my name isn't the Sherlock Holmes.
So we should not try to capture these ghosts. Mr. Crine holds up the ghost box. This is what we do.
And the ghost guillotine.
And the ghost flamethrower.
You might need to. I don't know what it will be to help each one. I know that each of them may have a different task for you. In the end, you will need to erase them from this plane of existence, each of them, so that they can come back in their true form when the time is right.
This is kind of over my head right now, Kevin. But I think we can do it.
It's not over my head, Kevin. Daddy.
You need to use your protoplasm packs to take the spirit out, but only after you realize their true nature. Only after. They were able to help you in like they are meant to help people, but they're actually being used for evil and greed. So
I promise you, Dad, Kevin Costner, that we will do right by you and every other poor ghost stuck in this house, for they are not malevolent, and they are worthy of our time and our. Guys, I'm on Team Ghosts real now.
Yep, you are.
I am. After all, being a vampire has its effects on the afterlife, and I understand that things are real now.
Sounds like you owe Marshall some money.
No.
Pay up, old man.
I'm half your age times 3.
Well, regardless of who owes who, I formally welcome you to our team that Mimi has named us, and it is a wonderful, catchy name.
Yeah, it's called Fuck You Ghosts.
Welcome to Fuck You Ghosts, the team, Sherlock.
Welcome to Fug.
I'm happy to be a part of Fug, and I'll give you your money, Marshall. Or, double or nothing, I catch the first ghost.
Oh!
I like those odds.
And something tells me that, with a gambling addiction, you'll be interested in playing this game. And if I lose...
Accepted, yes.
And if I lose... I'll probably make another bet.
Okay. Oh, excellent. More bets. Yes, good.
Wait, is Marshall role-playing Chris?
I don't get it. We went to the casino like twice.
Hold on. The only references to you and your gambling are based on things you said yourself. You're like, oh man, I love gambling. I love doubling down. None of this is ever an assertion by me, other than the joke I just made. All right.
So Kevin stops the chain. He says, "There's one more thing. I'm not meant to be here either. I'm here just to help you as best I can. I need you guys to take me out." And he flicks the switch on to Sherlock's pack. He says, "You need to take me out of this plane."
No fucking way. No, Kevin. No. No,
It's
they don't
okay.
come all this way to find me real da.
Goes up and hugs you. It's okay.
And like, there's like a long embrace, and then Kevin's like, and like fades from existence, and you see Sherlock pull back a ghost knife. He's like, it's like a protoplasm version of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like as if these big proton packs have like a knife version for some stupid cinematic reason.
Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
And he pulls
It's
it
got
back.
like a curly cord attached
That was
to
the
it.
only
Yeah.
one that was there. Like,
Yeah, and then it's immediately gone. And then Sherlock just like lets it fall from his hands to the floor. And he's like,
And as he's crying, Marshall comes up and hands him a 5-pound note.
when that happens, you hear a chain hit the ground. And there before you is a large iron chain that was forged by Kevin.
This looks like probably a cipher, guys.
dibs. He was the closest thing to my dad that I ever felt tonight.
I think you almost had sex with him.
He definitely slipped something in my bum.
Inserted him. I'm going to use the washroom because I need to do that after 3 beers.
Me too.
And you guys, role play amongst yourselves.
I definitely felt something slip in my bum.
Talk
And
about sex
Sherlock
with
bends down and nervously stops halfway down and like turns around to make sure no one's putting anything else in his bum. And then he bends down fully and grabs the chain and picks it back up. To be with only James. It's only you and me, James.
It's just me and you. Whoa! Oh, get it!
What?
Whoa!
Fucking elf kiss Sherlock. That's canon now.
Nice.
Canon. How's it going, James?
Pretty great. How are you?
Good. I'm full.
Good.
I ate too much dinner.
I am well drinking.
Good. I always find it
I
tough
just-
to drink when I'm full.
Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. I extra made sure that I had padded the booze with some really good food before we started. So
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, to me, I'd rather just not eat all day and have a few beers and then just be real drunk. But now,
yeah,
I could drink more, but I'm too full.
yeah, you got that tummy pressure going on.
Yeah, you know.
Like you need to like stand up and walk around for like 10 minutes and
Yeah,
then you'll
just-
be good to go. Yep, just fart it all out. Yep, clear the gas.
Clear the gas. Clear the gates.
Clear the
heavy
gates.
weights. Great celebrities so far. I'm really excited that Elijah made it.
Oh, this has been fantastic.
Yeah, nothing better than Elijah, Kevin stream. Who else are we expecting? Arnold.
Bill Murray was in here.
Arnold will be here. I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
Who else have we had in years prior? Oh, Trump's got to make an appearance. He always is the bad guy. But he went with someone else, so who knows? Hey, baby. Dancing? Uh-oh. Butt dancing? Uh-oh. That's all it is. Dancing and jingling in Jingle Bell Square. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the boat. And James. Jingle bell time. Yeah, that's the best. It's not plugged in. Or it's not turned on.
Do you have to really like get into its business?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let me kill it.
I like the laser sounds.
Pew, pew, pew.
Right.
Good laser sounds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good laser sounds. I'm not even a fake cat person.
Nope.
I'm not even a fake cat person. I'm not even a fake cat person.
Also, the idea of furries freaks Harlan out so much that when specific cartoons featuring like,
it doesn't freak me out.
well,
It's just
What's freaky about it? It's not that freaky.
furries.
doesn't
Yeah, like why is that freaky? I
it doesn't
mean,
freak me out. It kind of it squicks me out a little. Not in a
just because you come up with a new word doesn't mean it's.
no.
Yeah, it sounds like to me like you just said a synonym.
Yeah. Oh, don't. Oh, it squeaks them. Okay.
You're right. It freaks me out. But let me say it in a clear. Let me explain the reasoning. I have nothing against people who want to do the whole thing and all that kind of stuff. But to me, the idea of being real sweaty in like a suit, in like a costume,
You know what, that makes sense,
and
knowing
being
you.
real, it bothers a part of my brain that showers every day and twice some days. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
After that, that's part of the release. Because after
What?
you're done, you go and clean yourself after. Like,
Maybe,
oh,
but
I got all
it's.
that out of me.
I'm the kind of person who really enjoys cleanliness.
Elizabeth, in
And
which
it's
Harlan
definitely-
tries to define the difference between squick and freak.
Well, squick, to me, freak is scared. Squick is like turns your stomach. Like if you get
So which
squicked
are
out
you?
by something, I'm squicked out. It makes me feel a little because of like, frankly,
Like-
just like the gross. Like I feel it's a bit
What would happen
smelly.
if you knew someone who did it? Like a close friend of yours who was really into it.
Chris says with no motive for asking the question whatsoever.
What if his name was, I don't know, Briss or or Bliss or Miss or I don't know.
Miss Ciso.
No, I have no issue with the actual doing it in terms of what the fantasy is about, but more in the actual
Doing of the thing.
programming of it. I don't know. It just and Elizabeth said she's anti-mascot costumes.
Did
for
you know
similar
that I was my high school mascot when I was in grade
reasons. We
12?
have things to talk about after this.
Harlan, would having sex in a sweater be equally disturbing to you? Because it
No.
sounds like that.
Well,
No, because I think and this is equally my ignorance about the whole thing, but to my understanding, a lot of, I mean, this is pre-COVID, but like conventions and stuff where people wear the costumes for like hours on hours and like sweat and then certain people are really into the ideology where they're like to pretend that they're the character that they're portraying, which means they like to really live in that suit. You know, some people wear it all the time so that they can really feel that. And I have nothing against that. I think that's totally fine. But the idea of like wearing a suit, a big, heavy, sweaty mascot suit all day, and then like having sex after that makes me really
Harlan is also similarly against the season summer for the same reasons.
Yeah, I hate summer because I'm a
You could
vampire.
argue you're a hairy dude. I mean,
Super hairy.
hypothetically, you're in a furry suit all your life.
Yeah,
which
he
is
is.
why I shower multiple times a
Am I
day.
wrong?
Oh, you're definitely not wrong.
Pretty hypocritical to me. I
No,
don't know.
because ultimately, if I was sweaty, it would squick me out as well. Like to be super sweaty and not have a shower before having sex. That's not to say when the moment is right that, you know, anything flies, because anything flies. But, you know, in a realistic, like, oh, I've been out all day, I'm going to jump in the shower before getting down. I feel like that's definitely something that.
Do you think
appeals
I'm
to
only
me.
allowed to do this after I graduate elf school?
You mean Santa school? I don't think the elf hat changes sides.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
It can go from side to side. It turns. Looks dumb. This is
Okay, back to
Can we kill some ghosts?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
are we doing?
let's do it.
Fuck it up!
And
You
as
do.
you walk up the stairs, immediately the bell tolls. It is 1 a.m. Boom! Reverberating through the house, you feel it in your bones. And you begin your search using the tools of the trade, trying to figure out where the apparition of the first spirit will appear in this house. And you walk around using what tools? Mr. Crine, what do you use?
Oh, yes. Mr. Crine pulls out his wet sock grenade, which is a cipher that has a side feature that when I spin it around in the air, kind of like a sling, if it hits some sort of ectoplasmic matter, it will make the sock slightly wetter, thus being heavier.
Like
in my
marginally
hand.
wetter.
Marginally wetter, which I can.
And it continues getting wetter, but like it doesn't abide by
Yes.
the rules of physics. So even though something theoretically has like a break point or whatever it's called, where it will no longer speed up, it just keeps getting faster for every ectoplasm it hits.
Bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the bigger it gets, then I can throw it and create an ectoplasmic explosion.
Cool.
As walking
Yeah.
through the house, spinning this wet sock, you're
Yes.
certain that it speeds up and speeds up every step you take going up the stairs. And as you reach the
Goodness.
top of the steps, you see a light flickering, boom, boom, glowing from underneath the door of one of the rooms up there.
I think we've found the ghost. And the sock is like now the size of a beanbag chair.
Just, yeah, sopping wet.
Really hard to sing.
Oh!
Yeah.
And you open the door, I imagine.
Sherlock turns on his steam-powered proton pack.
It's like
Yeah,
80 decibels.
I like that beat.
are coming out from the shoulders.
Oh, hell yeah. We hear dubstep.
And as you open the door, the room is a bedroom, and there are unlit candles all around the room. There is a dresser with some clothes hanging out. It's a 4-post bed with a little bit of a canopy, a little bit of a curtain that goes around the bed, and it seems dark and nothing peculiar in this room. But you're certain, as you approach the room, that wet sock did get soppier. And
Oh yeah.
Ew. This is the worst.
I'm gonna go try one of those canapes.
Let me just like these here. Just a second.
And I take out my box of matches and I light.
Ooh, effects.
Light
Practical
candles.
effects.
It's getting real here.
Oh shit.
Are we role-playing or living it?
I pull out my miniature of Steven
Light
and
some of the candles.
put him around.
Yeah, I light the candles.
Shield your eyes as a very, very bright white light starts emanating from inside the curtains of the bed, and the curtains fly open. And there you see what looks to be a child, but also an old man, kind of, long white hair, clearly from age, but skin very smooth, porcelain-like. Very small, childlike facial features. It has white hair, so that it tells you that it's aged for sure. A bright glow emanates from the crown of what could be described as the head, brighter than a white flame, hard to look at. He wears a pristine white gown, shimmering belt, and she carries an distinguishing cap at their side.
Tilda?
His legs are phasing into view. 1, then 20, then 3, then none. The voice, as if from far off, speaks in a childlike tone. And you notice also, before the speaking begins, that the light, although very bright, occasionally flickers. And in that moment of flickering, the face turns old and sad and sunken eyes, and then back to that childlike. "Why have you come?" the voice says.
Well, we're here to help you, first and foremost, Tilda Swindon. We feel that we can be of use to you, and Kevin Costner has told us that we are your path forward.
"You are here to help." And you see the light flicker for a moment, and again that horrible visage before you, and back again. And you can see there's a wariness on this creature as it floats through the room closer, examining each of you, hair flowing, and you can see closer again in its arms. You see an extinguishing cap, that which you would use to turn out like candles, and again the light flowing from the head. "You're here to help. Can you do a roll for me?"
Me?
Yeah, you're the one who said that.
Happily. Here we go.
Do the roll. Do
Intellect.
the roll.
Oh, crap. Only a 19.
Oh.
And she floats over to Mr. Sherlock Holmes and looks at you and says, I'm so glad you're here. I need your help. It appears to me that my memories are fading. I am the ghost of Christmas past. If I have not memories, I have nothing. Can you please tell me your memories? And maybe then I can hold on to mine. And she floats around the room and kind of perches herself up in the corner of a room, looking readily at you to tell her your memories. What is your most cherished memory of Christmas? Please make sure that it is a memory you can hold on to. For if you cannot hold on to that memory, a darkness will fall.
Do I get the impression that she's malevolent in any way? Do I get the impression that she's trying to steal a memory from me, or can I roll something?
You can use any effort or anything else. I mean,
I'll roll intellect straight up and down.
yeah.
Let's see what happens. 10.
She genuinely is looking for your help, but there is a apprehension. The fact that she flickers in and out into this horrible face from this childlike is really disconcerting.
So,
Sure.
because of that, I give her one of my worst Christmas memories, but one that I remember really well because I can't forget it. I was an 8-year-old boy. Papa
Harlan,
came home early.
Quickly, I want to give all the other players, including yourself, the opportunity to share one of your Christmas memories, breaking the fourth wall as a human being, not as a player character.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
However, if it's something that's really personal, I would stay away from it. Like, share something sweet if you want to, but just keep in mind that there is something darker at play here, possibly, and hopefully, if you're successful, that won't happen, but it could. So don't use anything that you would feel hurt if it doesn't go well.
I'll do a made-up one just because I can't think of, honestly, one right now that might not have repercussions in some way or another. To me, either feeling bummed out or happy or whatever. So, Sherlock says, I was 8 years old. Papa came home from the meat factory once again. He decided to give me a big old hug. Blood staining my clothes, but I didn't care. Papa rarely came home for Christmas dinner. Mummy was there too. She decided to give me a tussle on my head. It's the first time she ever touched me in a way that made me feel wanted. That came out wrong. I just mean that she made me connected. I didn't mean that to mean the other thing. I just meant that she made me feel nice. But then, Mycroft. The fuck. Sitting at the table. Mummy's favourite always. He's my older brother, for those who don't know. No real fucking C blank 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 cock. That's right. And the other one. But he sat there with a big old smile on his face. Always knowing more than me, he said, as he talked like that. Well, Daddy gave him a hug too. And then I realised that Daddy only hugged me first to put the blood on me, so that he could hug Mycroft clean, so that Mycroft's shirt wasn't ruined. I ran upstairs.
What did your voice say inside your head?
What?
I asked you for a happy memory.
Oh, well, it got happy after that because I went upstairs and I took off my shirt and I decided to never let Christmas bother me again.
And as you
since
take
that
off
day-
your shirt, you would see your reflection in your mirror, in your memory, in your mind's eye. As you are really transported back to your memory, you are living this again. And only Sherlock Holmes is there in his memory, but in Sherlock Holmes in your memory, there is this ghost of Christmas past floating always with you, following you through each of these scenes. But as you walk up to the room and you look at the mirror and you get undressed to take the bloody shirt off, that's when it starts. We'll stop you there. Let's go to Mimi. Mimi, what memory do you hold on to?
I remember when I was just a little elf. I used to spend a lot of Christmas times out in the country with my family. This was before I was hired by Santa to work for him. And actually, I come from German heritage. I know it's kind of funny for elves to be like kind of like from the real world, but we used to decorate the Christmas tree all together on Christmas Eve at my Oma's house. We used these big long strands of silver tinsel, and I remember putting them on the tree very, very carefully, and my Oma telling me that I had to be extremely careful about where I put them. And I remember this beautiful wooden windmill, and on Christmas Eve you put 4 small little candles, and the windmill would turn when you lit them up. And I remember eating little special gingerbread cookies, and it was always the most wonderful night of the year.
Mimi, I have the same memory at my grandparents with the same, like the windmill thing. I always thought that was so cool. Touched it, all the windmill blades would fall off.
Yeah, you can't fuck around with those.
Touch it. Yeah, that's the thing. Can I have you do a roll, Mimi, to hang on? You can feel the pressing. The ghost of Christmas past is there with you in the room, and you can see the light in her head starts illuminating brighter and brighter with the warm feelings that you're feeling inside. But you also feel this darkness start to creep in, and the lights start to flicker on that device that spins the windmill from the heat of the flames. Can you try to hang on this memory and stop it from corrupting?
I am desperate to hang on to this memory. Can I spend
effort or anything else?
Absolutely, yeah. What kind of roll is it?
It's an intellect roll.
Yeah, I have edge in intellect, so I'm going to lower the difficulty by 1. So I'll lose 2 intellect points.
Okay.
Here we go.
Counter was originally a level 5, just so you know. So now you're actually a level 4. So you need to roll a 12 or higher.
Okay. Nope.
So again, as you look at those lights, all of a sudden they flicker in darkness. And you turn around and you see from underneath the tree a claw come out. And another one. And then we go to Mr. Crine. Mr. Crine, the same thing. In your mind's eye, you are in this blank space being asked by the spirit of Christmas past, please tell us a memory that's good and that you can hold on to, please.
Yes, of course. I've spent many years of my life in my lonesome in my studies. I'm not a lonely person, but there are times when around the holidays the books just don't do, well, the same sort of warm justice that a meal and warm friends and family will bring. And I will share a recent memory, not too long ago, about 26 fortnights, I would say, where, right before a great pandemic, I had the opportunity to spend Christmas Day at a good friend's place in the country, rather than with my family, who I dearly love. This time I thought I'd try something different, and I got to spend it with him and his lovely wife and his 2 little ones, who were gifted a toy puppet set, and they would play with the puppets, or at least the older one would, and the younger one was too small to do any puppeting, but we had a lovely time. Regardless, it was quite magical, yes.
And as you look at the little one playing with the puppet, it turns towards you. The puppet. And you try to hold on to the memory as you fear the darkness closing in. You roll an intellect roll to see if you can hang on.
I will most definitely use effort. Excuse me. Too much nog with Bill Murray. Oh dear! I rolled a 5. I'm going to use my experience to re-roll.
You see the neck of the rabbit puppet break.
Oh no!
Of the mouth, a claw reaches out.
Oh dear! No!
Mr. Marshall, can you recount a memory that's joyful
Do
that
it.
you can hang on to?
Do it.
Yes. Many years ago, right after my long-departed wife and I started seeing each other, I brought her home to the family for Christmas. And I will never forget the day Christmas came around and we handed her her own stocking full of all sorts of magical things, and the look of surprise upon her face, being able to have her own stocking while we all had ours, the thoughtfulness that we put into making that happen. I will never forget the joy and surprise upon her face.
Can you do me a roll to try to hold on to this beautiful memory
Yes.
as you feel the encroaching darkness try to take hold?
I do that.
Do you use any effort, or are you just going to go free roll?
I'm just gonna go for it. 17.
Oh, so you feel something try to get hold of this memory, but it is too pure, it is too beautiful, and it's too close to your heart. You are able to hold on to it, and you come out of the darkness, and you see before you the ghost of Christmas past, no longer having that visage, no longer having that darkness in her eyes. And as the ghost looks at you, the light is shining brightly, and the ghost says to you, "Thank you. Now we have to hope that the others can hold off the darkness." And the three of you are lying on the floor in front of Marshall, writhing in this contorting body as you are fighting in your mind.
I don't think I rolled. I haven't failed yet.
Didn't you roll?
No.
You said
We'll come
because
back
his
to you.
wasn't a
That's-
pleasant memory.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just assumed you automatically failed because it's not a pleasant memory.
I was leading up to the best part, which is when I put off Christmas, which is a pleasant memory for the ego of Sherlock.
So
Okay.
this whole time, while we've been thinking of our memories, and all collapsing to the ground, you've just been going through a really long memory
Oh, really?
that
Like
just
a
goes
story.
for 5 years.
Long-winded.
Okay, let's
And
hear
then-
how this one wraps up into a good memory.
Well, he just decided that, Christmas wouldn't be something that he ever bothers with. He calloused his heart and then decided
That's the
He's
best
gonna become
memory of all.
resilient to this hard world.
But to Sherlock, it was the best moment of his life. He decided to focus on the intellectual. Fair enough. It was an auto.
All that really matters is if Steven Spielberg thinks that it's a pleasant memory.
Yeah, I mean, after
As
that
a-
scene, Sherlock looks towards the director and he's like, "Good. Should we do another take? Is that all right?"
Are you happy with that one? Is it the best you can do?
Yeah.
And what does Sherlock say?
So, well, we could get a tight angle, maybe do the same thing. I thought it was a nice twist on it. But
Okay, I'm going to let
ultimately-
you roll with the disadvantage.
Sure.
Disadvantage
The
means
being
that
a
it's
dick.
harder. It's a higher
So you
number.
got-
2 natural
18 or higher.
20s. Here we go.
9 and 11.
So as you look in the mirror, you see reflected at you the body of a goat creature with a bag on its back and a switch in its hand, and it crawls out of the window, and you recognize it to be Krampus.
I'm like,
Krampus.
Krampus crawls out from underneath the tree towards you, Mimi, and the puppet whose head gets contorted, the hand that crawls out is Krampus, and you three are now in the fight of your life as Marshall looks in horror as you writhe on the floor as you are facing Krampus, and the ghost of Christmas Past says, I am sorry for what has happened. And we will start with you, Mimi. Mimi, how do you react?
I get out my proto pack and I start blasting.
So you're going to try to actually have the protoplaque paddock appear in your memory because you're actually fighting.
Yeah, I built
Yeah.
this thing.
Oh shit, that's
So, okay, so first of all, I'm going to have you roll a intellect roll to actually have the protopack so much in your mind that it actually appears in your memory. I'm
Yeah,
just going to make it difficulty class 2 because you're right, you did build it.
cool.
So you need to roll a 6 or higher.
Here we go. I mean, I rolled a 6.
So that's fine, 6 or higher. So you have the protopack on you in your mind. So even in your younger state, you have the protopack on you, and there's this goat-like creature with a pack, and he's approaching closer to you. Have you been naughty this year? And tries to reach for you.
Shut up,
fool. That's like Santa phraseology, and you don't even own that. And I aim
Legally, Coca-Cola owns that.
I aim my protopack at him, and I flip the lever, and I start cranking it, because this is like an earlier version of the protopack. It's not like the refined one that we all have in real life. And I start cranking it, and I have like the hose nozzle at him, like, just give me 1 second and you're gonna be fucked right up.
Okay, I'll let you roll to see. You can either do speed or intellect depending on how you justify the attack. You do speed. If it's just sheer intellect because you know how to do this type of thing, you can do that too. It's up to you.
I mean, I would argue intellect, but I don't really have any reason for it apart from the fact that I'm a more intellectual character.
Okay, then you can roll. You can add any effort you want or any other things that you can justify. It is your mind's eye. So if you feel like you can add things to it, then go ahead.
I get to be trained in any task that involves learning something new. I think I'm learning how to traverse my mindscape right now.
Basically, okay. Sure, I'll lower it by 1 step.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
Are you using any effort also?
Nah, because I rolled a 19.
Okay.
Nice.
So a beam bursts out, but it's not a very controlled beam. You really refine the nozzle later on in your design. Blast like Cyclops when he's not wearing his glasses.
Yeah.
And it immediately causes burning into the flesh of this goat creature. And it screams out this guttural scream as it burns into its flesh. All right, we're going to Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, I feel like... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like similarly, Holmes sees this Krampus in the reflection and he claws himself out of the mirror, and Holmes takes a step back. And I want to use my like fourth wall ability in a way to grab the candy cane that the elf gave me in the beginning of the game. But for two reasons. One, because he's kind of aware it's a fourth wall, but... What's that?
So, like walk to a different set, pick it up, and go.
For two reasons. That, but also because that he like reacted so emotionally to that, because it's the first gift he got since this Christmas in question. This was the Christmas where he decided to never care about Christmas, and then that was the one oh that's right, Holmes can't even see his own reflection. He's also a vampire, right. So I got that in my back pocket.
Just in case.
In fact, yeah, I walk over and I get the cane real casual like, and then he's like, Krampus, you think that I am locked in here with you, but the truth is, my friend, it's like the fucking fangs.
Your canines just grow.
Yeah, it's like, you're locked in with me, motherfucker. And I like dive towards him, swinging this like cane.
You're gonna suck the ghost's blood.
I'm gonna suck Krampus's blood out and then like drink it, just like tear off his head. It's like real violent 30 Days of Night vampire too.
Very good.
All right, I'm going to give you an advantage for having that natural weapon that you actually have. You want to use the effort.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to use effort. This is might, I'm assuming?
So you need to roll a 9 or higher to succeed.
Cool. And if I lower it one tier?
That's already lowered.
Oh, that is lowered. Yeah, let's do it. And I don't have any skills that I think would pertain to this. No. I mean, I didn't write down vampire special abilities, but I feel like that's a special ability. It's vampire. It's just vampire. Okay, here we go. 10 and 11.
All right, so what happens because the Krampus comes lunging at you thinking he's going to rip your flesh apart, and you do manage to actually...
The Krampus is like... Ruh-roh. And I like jump across and whack it in the face with the cane.
Tear his throat out.
Like, yeah, like breaks its jaw, and I grab its lower jaw and I tear its jaw open and start eating the bits between its teeth. And it's like it's like freaking out. It's like what? And I'm like tearing it. I'm like eating its tongue. I'm like eating the inside of its mouth and along the side of its face. Like just the worst place to be eaten.
Your waistcoat splattered.
It's just
with
like
blood.
covered in blood, and it's just like you just watch this really visceral, terrible.
Bad for Krampus.
It's so bad. You're like, oh no, Krampus, no.
That's Gorer.
Yeah, that's Gorer. Yeah. And then Sherlock is just like stands up, blood head to toe, speckles on his face. He's like, and that's his.
Okay, Marshall, I'm going to come to you next. Marshall, you see on the floor like a grimace of anger and determination on both the faces of Mimi and Holmes. You see a shock face coming from Mr. Crine. How do you react? What do you do? What do you
He's
do, Marshall?
frozen. Oh, Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
So let me go over that again. Your three friends are on the floor writhing, clearly in some sort of turmoil. The face of Mimi is contorted, but in a way determined and angry, and the face of Sherlock Holmes ravenous almost. Drink. And then the face of Mr. Crine is just shock and fear. How do you react?
Well, as not a smart man, Marshall freezes for a moment, and he thinks to himself, I know not what to do in this situation.
Transition into that voice.
Can I see like the ghost or anything?
Yeah, the ghost of Christmas Past is hovering in the space.
Cool.
Just kind of like childlike. You can see that darkness has left her.
Okay.
You got
but it's in everybody else.
You got to Dream Warrior this guy. You ever watch Dream Warrior, Freddy Krueger?
No, I don't.
You gotta enter the dream with him. You should like lie down next to him and like knock yourself out and like enter his dream and fight
get
with
in
him.
here.
I love that so much. So what Marshall is going to do is he is going to go head down and he's going to run as fast as he can into a wall to knock himself out. And then he's going to go and beat the shit out of the dream version of this ghost.
I feel like that's such a Butler thing to do too. He's like, oh, my soul is being hurt. Better join him.
Oh, save you,
It
master.
appears that my companions are currently in a state of battle for their lives in some sort of dreamscape. I am left with no other option but to join them in butlery duty.
Head down, running as fast as he can into a wall.
All right, I'll let you do a might roll to try to see if you succeed on this.
All right. Yeah, might, right?
I'm going to lower it by one difficulty class because of the fact of the matter is you're so trained as a butler, you're determined to help those that you butler.
He'll make it happen no matter what.
Yeah.
What needs to be done.
And this is might, right?
Yep.
So I want to use my edge.
Okay.
And I do the 15.
So you run across the room, careening into one of the posts of the bed. Bonk! You fall down, like a board, boom, 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 beside the body of Mr. Crine. And Mr. Crine, you turn around in this dream as you see this creature emerge from the puppet, this Krampus, and you look beside you, and there is Mitchell. However, Mitchell just smoked himself on the head, so his intellect isn't quite great, so his feet are really tiny. He's got baby legs as he is beside you. But he's ready to fight. The rest of his body is very muscular.
Yes.
Baby legs.
Yes. And we see this giant claw that's coming out of a bunny corpse. Careful, Marshal. This thing will try to slash us open. We must be cunning. And Mr. Crine's going to look around, and he's going to see a colorful book with glitter on the front. And then he realizes, aha! Come, lean in close. We can't fight this thing, but perhaps we can subdue it. And he opens The Night Before Christmas. And James, I want you to, can you Google The Night Before Christmas?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're gonna exchange lines. You take the first line, I'll take the second, you take third, I'll take
Not
fourth.
word for word. The night before Christmas.
You
No,
mean
not
syllable
word
for
word.
syllable.
Syllable for
That's even better. Letter
Alright,
for
I
letter.
think I got it.
Should we do that?
Do it.
I think that we actually should do that. We'll just do the first verse and the last verse.
What's a
Okay.
verse in a book?
I just posted in our private chat the one that I'm looking at to make sure this holds up.
Oh, private chat. Yeah, here we go. Gutenberg. Excellent.
So we want to
Okay,
just
yes.
do the first and the last.
They're called stanzas.
Stanzas?
Stanzas, yes.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah.
line by line, so you then me.
Well, let's actually. Harlan suggested we do
Word for
each
word.
syllable.
Just because
Each syllable.
yeah,
fuck.
whichever is more difficult, because it should be
I think-
challenging, right?
It's gonna be tough with the delay, but let's try it.
You got it.
Do it.
Do it,
Okay.
cards.
Fuck. All right.
Start us off,
I'm
James.
gonna award this. The more smooth, the smoother this is, the more powerful it is.
All right,
So
so-
I'm using word for word, we'll say. 'cause
All right.
syllable-
Hold on.
Who's starting? Yeah, chug that.
James.
Chug that.
Oh, yeah.
James is starting for sure.
Tip at the
Good
tongue,
idea, James.
lips.
Oh wow.
All right.
Here we go.
'Twas
The
night
be
for
Christmas when
all
through
the
house
not
a
creature was
stir
ing
not
even
then
a
mouse
the
stockings. Oh shit!
Oh!
You see, Krampus. He was contorting, and then when he said stockings, 2 syllables, he gained his strength. But he's getting closer now, and you continue on with your verses.
Hung
by
the
chimney
knee
with
care
in
hopes
that
Saint
Nick
Col
us
As soon as you see Saint Nicholas,
soon
you see
would
Oh, not Saint Nicholas. you see
be
horns, and he starts breaking them on his own head.
Nice.
Select. I'm going to give you 2 advantages for that fantastic performance.
Wait,
job,
say the last
guys.
word.
Oh, there,
James, it's you.
there.
Hey!
Roll. Let's see.
Nice. And Mr. Crine oh wait, we gotta roll first. Okay, so why don't you roll one, James? I'll roll the other.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
Ooh, 3.
Oof! I got a 2. Now, can I use experience to re-roll?
Yes, you can. That's one of the things you can do.
I am going to do that.
And if this fails, Sherlock Holmes can jump through the mirror and kill this one too.
That's true. That's true. And we're
Deus
like
Ex.
trying to put this thing to sleep, and I turn to Mr. Haverford
Haverford, yeah.
and do one more roll. It's a 5. What is this?
What the
Tim really has
fuck?
to
Smash!
decide.
Sherlock
Invictus.
Holmes
Come
jumps
on.
through the mirror.
How dare you, spirit of
Okay.
Christmas!
So, although you can see him in agony as soon as you stop, he's close enough. Krampus goes and grabs. Let's see here. He's going to grab Mr. Crine because it's your dream
Yes.
and he's attacking you first.
It is.
And he's going to try to grapple you and stuff you into his sack.
Fuck.
Oh no!
So you're going to roll a might check to see if you can out-might.
I'm gonna offer a GM intervention that I jump in.
I'm the GM.
Chris,
Marshall,
we think
don't
you've
let it
been
happen.
You've been drinking a little too much eggnog, and
Chris, do you think you're GMing this?
No. I think we need to have an intervention.
Yeah.
it's a GM intervention.
Yeah.
Right.
We love you. Chris. We love you. And you're rolling some.
Yeah.
Okay, so Justin, you're going to roll to see if you can stop yourself from being stuffed into the stinky, wet sock smelling.
No!
Furry suit smelling.
Yeah.
I knew that wet sock would come back to haunt me. Throw the might. Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay. You get a major advantage, so I'm going to let you actually attack Krampus as he tries to. He grabs at your feet, but he fails. He slips upon the fact that you're drinking eggnog in this, and the eggnog is super lubricating. So as he tries to
Ew.
grab you, it spills and it slips on your arms, and you're able to make an attack.
Anyone ever
Yes.
fucked using eggnog?
For sure. That's how
Some
that's how
fucked
chickens
up
are made.
eggnog. I love it.
Biology.
It's a super
like whipped cream.
lubricant.
It's like whipped cream, you know. You just.
It's really not, guys.
Like
I don't know what kind of
skinky.
eggnog you drink, but
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So, Mr. Crine, knowing that this is his potentially only chance before he gets stuffed in that sack, he's going to reach over and grab his final cipher. Wait, can I use a cipher? Yeah. Yes, of course. He pulls out a lint roller, and on his pinstripe suit, he rolls it up and down over the entire thing. And before Krampus's very eyes, the pinstripes begin to move and wiggle and wobble. For this is no ordinary lint roller. It is a lint roller of optical illusion. And it severely distracts him, hopefully.
So your attack is to distract him?
Yes, and
until
give
Sherlock
the vampire.
Holmes, the vampire can get, like, all that's happening is they're shooting on a different lot. They're shooting on a different lot, and Sherlock is like running through lots. He like runs on the set, and Everyone Loves Raymond. He's like, no, this isn't it. Like runs to another Bill Murray fucking original film. He's like, no,
Keep going. It's the other one. Keep going. All right, so you just daze Krampus. He's confused, dazed, and he loses grip on you just as miraculously Sherlock Holmes emerges from the mirror that is over the fire.
Yeah, and he does the exact same thing. He just bites this thing's jugular and rips shreds off. And he's like killing the actors inside the Krampus suits. Like there's the people that are acting in this fourth wall. He's just like murdering. There's like 7 layers to this fourth wall thing because he's really a vampire, even though he really thinks he's Sherlock Holmes, and then everyone's acting. And anyway, he just kills this poor actor. He's like tears the head off, chucks it to the director. They're still rolling. They're all into it.
Oh, good. Keep going.
Tom Cruise is yelling about COVID.
I do my own stunts. This is nothing. All right. Roll your attack.
Oh, of course. With what? How many advantages? 3?
None as of yet, but you can use effort to get some advantage.
Yeah, I'll use effort.
Okay.
This is for my buddy. This is for my boy. 10.
Krampus now saw what happened in the other scene. This Krampus.
He learned from my
He's
head,
like, whoa,
my head-eating ways.
He's like, this is not okay. The union has something to say about this. And we
You
go
did not
to
ask my permission, man.
Amy. What are you going to do? You awake, having defeated the Krampus in your mind's eye, and you see that all the other people in your adventuring party are unconscious. One of them bleeding a little bit out of the ears, as it laying back aside from the bed.
Yeah, Mimi sees that Sherlock is kind of like running like a dog in his sleep, kind of like having these fitful dreams, and she figures that he probably needs some help. So she's going to use some of her adept skills, and I cast Sculpt Flesh on Sherlock. So his fingers lengthen into claws, and he gets an additional 4 points of physical damage whenever he attacks a creature. So that's what Mimi does. She uses elf magic, and she fastens knives to Sherlock's hands that translate into the dreamscape.
Perfect, Mitchell and Mr. Crine. You know
Marshall.
Marshall. What did I say, Mitchell? Marshall. Mr. Crine. You look over at Sherlock, and not only is he his teeth trying to bite Krampus, he's got these blades for fingers now, and he's just,
Fucking Freddy Krueger.
Fucking Christ!
Sherlock!
I was gonna say Mitchell, but Marshall, your turn.
Yes, hello, I'm Marshall.
Marshall Mitchell Haverfoot.
I would like to run over and try and pin this ghost to allow Mr. Sherlock more ample opportunity to rip it to shreds.
Okay. So giving an advantage to Sherlock, kind of thing.
Yes, that is the thing I will do.
Awesome.
Do it.
You tackle him?
Tackle him
with a 2. You tickle
with
him.
I tackle him with a 2.
With your little baby legs, you try to run over, but your top half is too heavy, and you get a lovely, adorable thing, and you fall on the ground. All right, Mr. Crine, what are you going to do?
Oh, well, Mr. Crine sees that the situation is quite dark and dire, and he's going to run over to the piano, sit down, and begin to play. And you hear his deep bass voice rumble as he tries to cause this creature more anguish and upset. He says, "Jolly old Saint Nicholas! Jolly old Saint Nicholas! Jolly old Saint Nicholas!"
Is this an attack?
Yes, it is. It is. It is an intellectual attack.
Is this an attack?
Attack. This is an attack on Krampus's mind! I want him to be so destroyed emotionally that he can't lift a finger against any of us.
Okay, give it a roll.
All right. Would this be speed or intellect?
It would be, what do you think?
I think it's intellect.
Okay.
I'm going to use my effort and an edge. Oh, on intellect. Effort.
Okay.
That is a 3. That is a 3.
No, what?
Oh my god.
You know? You hear strings popping, you're hitting wrong chords, you're out of tune.
No! No!
I jam. It turns into this, like, caricature of Jolly Old Saint Nicholas. Meh, 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 like you're making fun of Jolly Old Saint Nicholas. And he's like, wonderful. And he goes to attack again. But we are going to go... Actually, it's his turn. So he grabs the next... He's going to grab the tiny little baby, Marshall, who's now on the floor. And he grabs... He's not a baby. He's a muscular, baby-legged man. And he grabs the man and tries to shove him into the sack. So do a might roll to see if you can stop him from doing that.
A might roll. Can I spend some might?
Yes.
Okay, I do that.
Okay, you got to roll a 12 then.
Oh fuck. Okay.
You got this. You got this.
I don't have this. I rolled.
Oh my
I
god.
rolled a 4. Goodbye, cruel world. May the inside of this sack be more pleasant than the life I have lived.
I regret everything.
Shouldn't
have been a butler.
Look at the butler's face, and he's just like agony and fear, and then it goes completely like catatonic from a straight face, and he almost looks like stiff as a board as you're shoved into this sack in complete darkness, completely unable to move in this bag. And we are to you, Sherlock Holmes.
All right, Sherlock's like, now listen here. I'm real fucking pissed now, you piece of shit. You fucked with my friends, and I don't got many of them. And Sherlock slashes the bag open first off with his new claws, spilling Marshall Haverford out of the haversack. I'm assuming.
I think that'll be two different choices. I think you can attack or attack the bag. You can't attack both.
First off, I win the game. Secondly,
in my defense,
me and the NPCs go out to party.
Win the game. All right, fine. I turn to the guy saying the same type of shit, and I say, "You're going down, Crampy," and I ram my fingers into his chest. Now, James he aided me. Oh, he tried to grapple. Yeah, it failed. Never mind. Okay, I remember. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna spend might again.
Okay, I'm going to give you an advantage, not only to damage, you're going to get +4 to damage, but you're also going to get an advantage for those claws. Go right ahead. So 2 lower at a 9.
You can do this. You got
I'm
this.
gonna do it with a 12.
Hell yeah.
And I ram my fingers in and I carve around his heart, and I like pull it out, and I just start licking it like.
And cramp it.
Rather unnecessary.
I'm just misunderstood.
You're not misunderstood. You're a fucking asshole.
And immediately you guys are all transported back to the room into your bodies and waking up down on the floor. There's the body of this goat creature, dead, blood spilling out of its chest. And
Oh,
the
dear.
ghost passes. I remember the joys of Christmas. It is time that I leave. Take me from this plane.
Minnie's already fucking got the like proto pack, like a vacuum. She's like
Sucking him up.
hoovering up the ghost particles in the room.
Meanwhile,
and as the ghost of Christmas past kind of looks relieved, entering into the proto pack, you see her snuff out her flame on her head and disappear into nothing. As all the candles in the room turn out, and you're left there just with the corpse of Krampus on the floor.
and you just see Sherlock like just wiping a bit of blood. Anyway, that was fun. I still don't know if ghosts are real. Let's go to the next one, shall we? I'm stuffed. Oof.
I just want you to be aware that there's possibilities for ciphers in this room.
We searched the Krampus for the ciphers.
Let's do a roll.
the room.
Intellect roll.
Everybody?
Yeah.
I got a 19.
Hell yeah.
I got a
11.
natural 20.
Nice!
Oh!
Well done, Mr.
All right.
Crine.
So,
Thank you, Kitty.
What, Kitty? What are you talking about? Oh, hello!
Much appreciated. Ah, yes, I must get.
2 ciphers, no problem. And Mr. Crine finds the more difficult, a little bit hidden one. The first one that Mr. Sherlock finds is in the center of the room, right beside the body of Krampus, right underneath where the ghost of Christmas past was. There is a pristine, unlit black candle. And it's there. Obviously a gift from the ghost of Christmas past, very similar to the gift that Kevin Costner gave you when he left the realm.
What happened to that gift?
The chain? I don't know.
He
Did you
gave me
leave
a
it?
chain? What did the chain do?
The chain that was left in the room.
Oh, I have the chain. Did not know.
And Mr. Crine, you find in the space, you find the bag that Krampus had, as well as one snapped off from Krampus's head.
Oh, what are the claws?
No, one of the horns.
Oh, a horn.
And the horn, and because you rolled a 20, I'm just going to tell you, the horn calls forth gnomish servants, kind of the dark version of the elves that Santa would have, but Krampus's evil counterparts.
So they're slaves, essentially.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But evil, dark,
Evil slaves.
Slaves type thing. We'll come back and do one joint effect for one round, such as grapple or attack, and so on, type of thing. You can command them to come and attack. You blow the horn and they arrive. Or you have a bag of holding, which will interplane. Will put a person into a different plane where they cannot hear, speak, or act for one round, and they will take heavy damage in that one round. If you can.
Can I try to find out what this chain that I got from my daddy does?
Absolutely. Roll an intellect roll.
Can I also like
natural 20?
Oh.
Nice.
You know that not only do you know that this item, you realize that the spirits are trying to help you in your grander cause, which is to get rid of this demon of greed. This chain will help bind Bill to the table when the time arises that the greed demon does arise. So you have the feeling that if you do help these other spirits leave this plane in a good way, you will also get items that will help in that endeavor.
Nice.
Can I take another look at this handkerchief?
Yes, you can.
Or maybe I show it to Krampus.
Sherlock.
To Sherlock.
I'll take a look at that. Let me see. Oh, well, that's a fucking 7.
Good.
Again, it's radiating heat, and you know it to be a cipher, but you can't quite figure out what it does.
Well,
however, it did come from someone who was a child, so maybe that is a connection.
It's baby heat.
The best kind. So cozy.
All right, let's continue on and hunt the rest of these ghosts.
It feels like hours have passed, and yet you look at the clock in the hallway, and it is yet to be 2 o'clock. Hours, it feels like days since the bell chimed, but at 2 o'clock, the bell chimes again. Bong! And you hear reverberating through the house. Come in and know me better, man.
I like this guy. And I walk in.
You walk into where? Looking through the house, you need to do some of your ghost recon to figure out where it is.
I would love to bust out my cipher, which is the X-ray monocle, to look through all of the walls and find where this man may be.
Why is it
Excellent.
not pulling to James? We're not seeing James on camera.
Oh no!
There you
I
go.
just have to be louder.
Yeah,
Is that-
just be
is
more
that what it is?
exuberant.
I will be more exuberant.
The trick is to grunt before you speak. Now I'm going to talk.
Ah! So, that didn't even work. That pulled to
No, it didn't
didn't.
work for me.
Stop pulling at me! You keep pulling.
Hello.
Stop it.
Okay, so this monocle you put in your eye starts searing this like painful skin, second-degree burns because it's working. And you immediately look, scanning through the room, accidentally glance past Mr. Crine, and you see he's got nipple piercings that join with a nice chain to his belly button piercing. Never realized.
Get that out of my mind!
You can't get that out of your eye. And scan through the house, and you realize that the voice definitely was coming from the larder and kitchen, where a giant stands, and you see the bones of this giant standing beside the oven in the kitchen, and you realize that's where it's coming from.
My companions, we must journey to the kitchen where next to the larder stands a giant made of bones. Or maybe he's made of other stuff, but he has bones.
I could go for a bite each. Why not?
Let's go check it out.
Smoke.
Okay, so as you go into the room, you realize immediately it's filled with holly and wreaths and many other festive plants. It's but all the plants give off this horrible odor, and there's scarring and rust on the leaves of the plants, and there's many cured meats and bountiful food, and there's berries and fruit, but again, all with a foul odor of decay. There is a sleeping giant of a man with a torch, not unlike the horn of plenty in his hand, and he sleeps very warily against the fire that would be the cooking stove. Oh, come in and know me better, man. And he falls back asleep.
What is your name? My name is the Sherlock Holmes, world-renowned detective and excellent lover, based on 1 out of 10 reviews.
I am not as many 1800 brothers who came before me. I try to bring merriment to the day. All that I try to bring to the day, food and drink turn to ash in my mouth. And you can see he's actually aging before your eyes. You can see gray hairs start to appear. I age at a pace that has not been set before. Help me.
I have
What
a
can we do for
wild
you?
idea, but I'll wait till everyone else runs out of ideas.
I mean, I have some really, really good Christmas cookies that you could try.
You see, I need something for the feast. I need something I can offer for the day. And he gestures into his coat, and you see this beautiful green coat with white fur trim. And he opens the coat, and there, hanging from the coat, is a whole bunch of traps and snares that you would use for hunting. Please help me catch a creature that I can offer for the feast.
What creature do you suppose he exactly wants?
A great hare, he says.
Oh, well, I have a few of those on my head.
No,
They're okay hairs.
funny
Let's
sort.
be honest.
You know what, elf? I've had it up to here with your bullshit.
If you are willing to help me, just touch my robe and I will transport you where we can find the feast.
We do it. We
Beast.
all do it.
Yes,
Right.
And
we all
immediately the-
join hands and touch his cloak.
I touch his clothes.
We all hold hands and grab you.
Oh, I feel younger already. And the whole world like shrinks into where you guys are, and immediately you're teleported to a pine forest deep in snow, hushed with snow. And he says, "Please find me a hare that you can catch for our feast. And he hands to each of you a different apparatus, a snare, a trap, and so on. What did you grab?
I'm going to start off with using one of my ciphers.
Okay.
I grab a snare first off. And then I use my bubblegum cipher. I have chewing gum that when stretched thin, you can look through to magnify like 1,000 times. So I'm basically like a telescope or like, so Sherlock chews and then stretches it out and takes a look around just to see if he can find a hair. He's like scanning around.
Awesome.
I'm gonna use one of my ciphers as well. My Carly's hot chocolate. I pour this packet of hot chocolate out on the ground and I make a mountain of marshmallows, which, as everyone knows, rabbits love.
They sure fucking do.
Chubby Bunny, if we've learned anything from Chubby
For
Bunny.
real.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so Harlan, can you roll for me intellect? I just want to see if I can give you an advantage here or just to
Sherlock.
what happens. Yeah.
Sherlock tonight. That would be a 1 plus 19 minus 19.
What is with the rolls tonight?
Very swingy.
Okay, so upon blowing up this bubble gum, stretching it out, you look and you see a woodpecker, and you're so mesmerized by the beauty that you can't look away. And the timer, and eventually the bubble gum just like pops, and you miss the opportunity.
And I look towards the camera, and I'm like, really? And I walk past towards the PA, the script supervisor, and I grab the script, and I flip through to where the hair is. And I'm like, fucking, a set of tall, dark trees 300 feet away. Tall, dark trees 300 feet. And I toss it behind me, and I walk towards the others.
Sounds good. And it is at that point that Mimi was able to set up her bait. And she puts down the marshmallows.
It took me a little while because I had to arrange them in kind of like a fancy pyramid arrangement, something that would be like a very beautiful.
Is anybody going to provide any way of trapping the hare if it does so
No.
choose to eat vegetables? No.
Not me.
The hare hops over. Boom, boom, this big hare.
Someone
Like,
else
we're
is
talking
in charge of catching it. I attract.
Yeah, we
the
did all
hair.
the hard, heavy lifting. Let the butler or Mr.
Does anybody else want to do anything? Mr. Crine? Nothing? Just let the hare eat the marshmallows?
Mr. Crine.
He's about ready
It
to
looks.
pass out.
Mr. Crine looks to the butler. Do you have any ideas?
Why,
How
of
do you
course
cut a
I
hair?
do.
This
and I
does
would
not
like,
involve books.
I would like to climb into the tree above where the marshmallows sit, ready to just like jump down and grapple the hair while it is distracted by the marshmallows.
Flawless plan.
So this beautiful snow white hare hops out from behind a pine, sniffing the air, looking around, doesn't see anything, sees marshmallows, intrigued, hops over, gets distracted for a moment by female hair, gets refocused to the marshmallows, hops over to the marshmallows, samples the first marshmallow, doesn't like it, goes to the second marshmallow, loves it, starts eating all the marshmallows, completely unaware that above them is waiting death. As you drop down, Marshall, how do you attack this hare?
Just a straight like elbow, just falling straight down.
People's
trying to get this
elbow!
thing... Yeah.
Okay, roll a
Elbow.
1d20.
A 1d20.
Excellent.
I'm going to give you an advantage for the surprise, and I'm also going to give you an
Okay.
advantage for... no, just for the surprise. Yeah.
Okay. So I just roll 1d20 then, and you tell me if I win or lose, right?
Or you can apply some effort if you want to make
I
it...
apply effort. Of course I do.
I'm really trying!
I'm
Okay,
really
go ahead.
trying. How much does effort cost? 2?
It costs 2 if you have a edge in might, which I imagine you do.
I do. So that's going to drop me down to that number. Now we're going to roll. 7.
Oh.
So you land just beside the hare, making a beautiful imprint in the snow. The hare looks at you, spits a marshmallow in your face and starts hopping very
Which
quickly.
is perfect because I'm gonna vampire it. I was right. I was waiting for Marshall to herd it towards me. I'm at the tree line, vampired up, ready to pounce on the hair, and I jump on it.
Can you do an intellect roll for me, Harlan, before you do that?
I can only do intellect rolls. That's an 18.
This hair doesn't smell right. Doesn't
And
smell like a hair.
I'm like, oh, what does it smell like? With an 18.
But
It smells.
Like a rabbit.
It smells. It smells a little bit sooty, and there's no soot to be seen. It smells like
rabbit.
a chimney.
We
Not-
know all
not
about these.
Interesting.
Children you encountered in the streets begging for change.
Metaphors. It's Elijah Wood. I call it Elijah,
It keeps running.
and I look towards
At the last second, Mr. Crine pulls out his new horn, fumbles for it. Oh, I might have something! And he gives it a long blow.
Long, slow blow.
A long, slow, deep blow.
the horn of
wraps his
Gondor.
lips around the horn.
The horn of Gondor. He calls for aid.
Really takes his
I'm
time.
trying
with
to
it.
summon my little friends.
Wait, hold on
You hear
though.
weird.
Before you waste that, wasn't the impression I got was that this isn't worth hunting, correct?
No, all you know is that it's not a hair.
Oh well,
Based on-
then I would have attacked still because you asked me to roll the intellect to see if I could suss. But if I would still be like it's still a hair, then I probably would still attack. I
It's
wouldn't.
not a hair.
Oh well, then I would yell out, "It's not a hair! Let it go!" Because I don't want you to waste your cipher if we're not going to catch this.
Too
thing.
late, I'm mid-blow.
Well then well, all right, fine. That was a cool
And the-
cipher.
I know,
Yeah,
it
but
was
once
pretty
you start
cool.
something like that, you shouldn't stop
You
midway.
hear this weird version of hi ho, it's off to work we go, but it's much more grim in a minor key, hopping out of the trees, dropping down from the pines, and they start walking, like just their hats are above the snow level because they're teeny tiny gnomes, and they come over and they say, "What will you have us do?"
I thought you were supposed to be evil. Catch that hair!
No,
Hey,
don't catch.
what
And I
will you
talk
have
over. I
us
say,
do?
don't tell him to catch that hair. Tell him to catch us a real hair. That one's bullshit.
But the bullshit might have secrets.
Who are you?
I'm a man. I'm Mr. Crine, a mysterious librarian who explores dark places.
It says on his name tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, my name is.
Okay, so can you roll for me a intellect?
I will gladly do this. Oh, I guess I'll do it in. And I'm going to use effort as always because I'd try. That's a 3. That is a 3 that I got.
Yay!
You're
And
higher,
that is
and you're
Macho
good to go because I lowered it significantly because of the cipher. And these gnomes
Wonderful.
popping out of the snow everywhere around the rabbit, and they all just leap. And they all just grab the rabbit, and they're holding on to it as it kicks and tries to get away.
Wonderful! There! We have it! You said it wasn't a hair, Mr. Holmes.
All I said was that there's something stinky about it.
What does that
Goes-
even mean?
Go with the Christmas presents leaning against the big pine trees, like 13 feet tall. He says, "Great, dispatch of it," and he hands you a knife.
Me? Who?
Yes. It's for
Oh.
the feasts.
No, I don't do it.
I walk over and I kind of look at the hair up close. Can
Yes.
I carry over my 18 since we don't roll very well?
No.
I will aid you. Well,
I'm sure
someone
I
aid him.
17.
You roll a 17?
Yeah.
Very well done.
The illusion of the hair goes away, and there before you is a young boy being held by the gnomes. And he squirms, "Let me go, please, please.
And I
I'm
say,
Bob Cratchit's son. Please let me go."
why were you hidden like? And I keep this hidden from the big boy behind. And I'm like, psst, psst.
To whom? To
To the
Bob
little
Cratchit?
boy. And I'm like,
Right.
hey, psst, why would you keep it hidden? Why were you a little rabbit?
I don't know what you guys saw. I don't know how I got here. I was in my bed sleeping, and all of a sudden I'm in these woods running away from you maniacs and these
All right,
gnomish
shut
people.
up, shut the fuck up, shut up, okay. Relax.
Clarence,
Hey
shut up.
gnomes, keep them quiet for a second. I got an idea. And I take the bunny, snow. I take like snow and I put it into like a pile. I can make a little bunny. And I turn around. Well, I've got the bunny here. Whack! And I take its head off in the snow and it falls down. And then I just vomit a little bit of vampire blood on it.
Something else. Vampires.
Lots of leftovers from the Krampus dinner. I'm like, oh, we've killed it. You want us to bring it back to you to feast now?
The giant stands up, more youthful than you've ever seen. And he looks at you and smiles and bends down and hugs all of you simultaneously. And you are instantly brought back to the room, except for now all of the food is beautiful and it looks delicious. And the smell of green is all through the space. And he goes, "Thank you. Thank you so much for not letting that happen. I saw what was going on. I saw what was being done to trick you. I could do nothing for it. Perhaps this Christmas will be a wonderful one after all. Please help me leave this space so I can go on to help other souls in need." And he gestures towards your proto pack.
Hey, little bit of trick, eh? I look over to the elf, and the elf is like stabbing the child, saying, "Huh? What? Oh, we're not doing this one."
Naughty list. Naughty list.
We
I
vacuum.
killed the first one. Elf killed the second one. Who wants to kill this guy?
Do it!
Yes.
We don't-
Take it, Mr. Haverford.
Oh.
I do it!
All right, so Marshall turns on his proto pack, and a beam of protons, not
Protos.
protons,
Yeah.
hits the giant, but he looks peaceful as
Frodo's.
he disappears.
It's a Froton pack.
It's an Elijah Wood pack. Frodo.
An evergreen wreath that smells amazing at where he was standing.
Well, based on my calculations of 3 ghosts, that leaves us with 1 ghost left. It should come at 3 o'clock.
Quite elevated.
Brilliant deduction, Mr. Holmes.
That is
that'll
why I'm
do
the
it,
best detective. That's why I'm the best deducer in the world.
Oh, I forgot that we owe you $800 an hour. Here you go.
That's right. Not to mention, I already won the bet, being the one to kill the ghost,
God.
kill the first ghost.
No
so
wonder you're so rich.
triple and nothing. Also, I have an ability where deductions are imposing, and I'm trained in intimidation because people are they're so in awe of my deductions. I love the idea that I'm like, 1 ghost left, and then fucking Mr. Crine is like, wizard!
Numbers!
Yeah, and I want to swap. Can I just swap my fucking other cipher for one that the community made? Because the community's got some
I
amazing
want to
ciphers.
include more from the community, so feel
And
free.
my cipher sucked. I didn't like it. So I'm going to randomly choose... I'm not even going to read the full thing. I'm going to choose Liz's. It's called Jingle Bell Rock. This ordinary looking pebble bursts into a flurry of clattering jingle bells when thrown against a hard surface. Amazing. Done. Okay. Let me take that. Thanks, Liz.
Perfect. All right, so back in the kitchen, the ghost of Christmas present is gone. You hear the bell toll 3 o'clock. And this immediate feeling of dread washes over you. For you feel there's something far more sinister waiting for you with this last ghost.
Well, I suppose we ought to take a look around. However, My deductions make me believe that it's probably not in the kitchen, nor the upstairs bedroom.
Then where do you deduce?
Well, probably the basement would be my best guess. Wait, no. Kevin was in the basement. What
Right.
other rooms are in this house?
Perhaps
Before
there
you
is a
manage
dark
to
nook.
Figure
Or
out where
cranny.
it is. People who need to take a wee break, you stop into the bathroom, and each one of you takes their time to pee.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a wee break. Everyone take a wee break. Someone
Yes,
do music.
please.
Dee do 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 dee do 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 do.
Oh, I thought we were still in character. I thought this was role playing.
So hard.
We all.
Have you guys? I'm under the impression that no one here has seen The Christmas Carol.
Oh, we've seen it. We're just drunk.
Okay, fair enough. I was like, what? I feel like the door knocker was like, what? This like, I don't know. Did that?
Who is it? Who is it in? Is it the?
It's still John Goodman.
Yeah.
Is it John Goodman?
No.
In
and
the
like
Muppet
what?
version?
What version?
The
You
Muppet
know-
version.
There's no version where it's John Goodman.
Oh.
True that.
He's
Oh.
so
My favorite
inventive.
version, by the way, is the Muppets. Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Who is the door
It's
knocker?
One of what are they called? The people who sit in the balcony. I asked this. Like,
Oh, it's one of the old guys.
Yeah. We're Marley
Right.
and Marley. Whoa! It's surprisingly short. The story, eh? It's like an hour and a half when you listen to
Yeah,
the whole.
somehow we're drawing it out to 3
Yes.
hours.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's like multiple dimensions and
We're doing the
Sherlock
original
Holmes.
It's a classic
Dickens.
Invictus
there's a
game.
vampire.
If you were to narrate the entire Dickens book, it would probably be about the same length.
No, I'm telling you, I listened to the audiobook just to refresh myself. It was like maybe 3 hours, but
Oh wow!
you know,
Really?
it's not very
We
long. at all.
just suck. Well, we have so many
I just
awesome
assumed.
characters included, like an elf and Mr. Crine and a butler and a vampire Sherlock.
All right, so the bell tolls 3 o'clock.
Oh shit. I mean, oh shit.
That's practically morning.
Bong.
Future is upon us!
And you search through the house for some sort of evidence that there's a ghost.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I've got this hooded lantern that has a filter over it that only shows like spooky ghost fingerprints, and I see some, and we walk towards it.
Yeah.
And they're actually on the front door.
What the fuck is this?
We got freezing temps. We got fingerprints confirmed, and I think we have spirit box. Let's go. We're
There's
done.
spirit box.
The heart is starting to beat in your chest. You can hear it in your ears, and your walkie-talkies aren't working anymore. They don't work.
We're being hunted. Run! Fucking run!
Hide.
Yeah.
The door swings open, and you are pulled out into what you would expect to be the night air outside on the street, but rather you were actually pulled out to a cemetery. And there before you is 4 graves. And this dark wraith, shrouded in darkness, stands before you. Misty, blowing in the wind, long garbed, tattered rags. And you can't see their face. It's just a darkness. And holds out a hand. Or what would be a hand if you could see it, but just wispy shadow is before you. And inside the hand is a bag. And it gestures to you to come and take it.
You know, right? I ain't fucking scared. And I walk up and I take a Twizzler from
You
the
try
bag.
to take it, but you actually immediately feel dread. Horrible feeling in the pit of your chest.
Ooh.
Roll to see if you have any success.
Boys, I don't feel so fucking good. Ooh. With a 19. Yeah, I'm fine. Fuck it.
You are not, in fact.
With a 19?
With a 19, you are not okay. You feel this feeling of uncontrollable fear, and you look to the grave that you have to walk by, and you cannot bring yourself to do it. And you take 3 points of intellect damage.
Fuck.
What? Don't go to this guy. 19, and I took 3 points. Man, that sucks. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what you are, but fuck you. That sucked, you prick.
Oh,
And he knows
Mr.
about
Holmes.
sucking.
Yes, I'm a vamp. Oh, wait a minute. And I look to one of my coffins and I'm like, oh, God, I could go for a rest. Climb down
so
inside my coffin. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Does anyone else want to try?
No, don't. I'm like,
Mr.
don't.
Crine is going to walk towards it with his encyclopedia, and he's going to flip through, and he's going to look at it. What exactly... Can I make heads or even tails of this contraption?
Yes. Try to roll an intellect roll to see if you can figure anything out.
I will
Favorite
use...
line of the night so far. Can I
will
make
use
heads or
effort.
even tails?
Okay.
I could have
You
used
roll-
effort.
Yeah, on any roll.
You told me
Okay.
just to...
That time, I got a 12. What is this thing?
It is definitely a ghost. It is definitely a spirit. It seems to be trying to help you guys. He's trying to give you this thing in his hand.
Does it have anything to do with the future? Is
Absolutely.
it some sort of riddle?
Not so much.
If it's a riddle, Sherlock says he's crawling out of his grave, I think perhaps we need to approach this differently. And he begins walking backwards towards it.
Mimi,
Why don't
what
you
did do?
just drop the bag? Just drop it.
Oh yeah, drop it, you ponce.
Its head shakes and gestures with its hand outstretched to you.
That sucks. I don't want to take that.
Hey, listen, big boy. I approached and you hit my brain power 3 pointios.
Marshall, what do you do?
Marshall, not fully understanding anything that is going on or that has happened, but still being part of the team, will walk up and go,
Oh, well, thank you.
and he'll try and take the bag.
Okay, do an intellect roll.
Bless your heart.
Bless my soon-to-be fucking dead heart. 1.
Very good. You
Not
win the
only
game.
do you take the 3 points of damage, you fall to your knees, rocking back and forth, going, I'm not ready to see, I'm not ready to see, I can't see
Just see,
that.
I'm not ready to see. I'm not ready.
Someone get this man his glasses.
Would we consider this sack or satchel to be a small mundane item?
Yep, very much so.
I chuck my jingle bell at its face.
You chuck what at its face?
My jingle bell.
Nah, I cast shatter on the bag.
Okay.
I interrupt the fundamental force holding the matter together on the bag. So I feel like I throw like a jujube at it. And then the bag detonates.
Is a
So-
Jube Jube a Christmas thing in your mind?
Yeah, it's like a candy.
I know what it
jelly.
is. I just didn't know it was a Christmas thing.
It is
Like
to me.
On top of
when
gingerbread
they're
house.
red and when they're only the red and green ones are.
So the
Oh,
bag,
But if you get another color in there,
the
then
bag
Fuck.
I got them out. The green and
explodes
red ones are Christmas.
in an immediate
Yeah.
radius, and it deals 1 point of damage to the creature who's holding it.
Okay, so it shatters the mundane object.
Yeah.
So the bag bursts open and sand falls to the floor.
the sands of time.
The beast or the wraith just kind of drops its hand and looks at you, floating, and you're back inside the entryway of the house.
I did
And
it.
floats there.
What floats there?
The beast, the wraith,
Oh,
the dark
wraith.
figure.
Do I get
Have
the impression
we-
that we succeeded this or failed this?
Yes.
Can I roll?
Are you pleased with
Yep.
our
You know the intellect
action?
roll?
Yeah.
I think you liked
I want to
it.
know if that was the... So 15.
You can't get an emotive reading from this creature because it has none.
Yeah.
But it was trying to give you that item. So yeah, aside from that, it just looks at you.
And the item's gone now.
There is some sand on the floor.
I run over and scoop it up.
And it floats there above you.
What? It floats there above?
It's floating there. It just kind of.
Hold on,
floating.
there's sand on the floor.
No, not the sand. The creature, the wraith.
Oh yeah, well I scoop up the sand.
Yeah, and you get the sand.
Can I roll intellect on it to see if it's got any magical properties or anything?
Yep.
18.
You think this would help you again to face the demon? You don't have as much as the wraith was trying to give you. The wraith has nothing else to offer you now. Ghost of Christmas Future, maybe some sort of Sands of Time type metaphor going on here. That's about it that you have from it right now.
Fine.
It has no more purpose. It needs to leave this plane.
Yeah, I put it in one of my vials and I turn to it and I say, next time, if you want to give somebody something to help them, don't hurt them while you're doing it. Say something or make any sort of vague gesture implying that you're trying to help them.
It opens up. It's like Cowl. It opens up his like chest cavity, and you see its rib cage. Have you seen Scrooged?
Yeah.
It's like that.
And then Sherlock's like, and don't flash people. That's fucked up. Somebody ice this fool.
We pull out the
Protoplasm.
vacuums.
Yeah.
Takes them out of this plane of existence.
Nice.
You hear from the room from whence you first left. Whatever. Who speaks that way? You hear from the room where Bill Murray was trapped.
Dickens does, man.
and Bill Murray.
Whence he did.
Hurry! And you hear him
we-
grunting and
As we
writhing.
walk back to the room with Bill Murray, I'm like,
Listen, guys, I'm really sorry. I was worried, and I thought that exploding the bag would be smart.
It's
like
all
a
right.
good
Don't worry
idea.
about it. I got a little bit left, and I run over and I lay the chain across Bill Murray's gorgeous rippled chest.
and also I put the handkerchief on his face for some reason.
And then I sprinkle the sand on his dick.
Do you guys have any other ciphers that you want to just use?
Yeah, we got one more that we got two more actually from
Guys,
the
we
ghost.
got Bill Murray tied down. Take a
You're
picture.
dripping
serious?
wax from the black candle on his chest.
Should I put this sack over him?
Do it. Do
No.
I won't. Though
Do it.
I am curious. No, never mind. Forget it.
All right.
Okay, so you're gonna use the sand and you're gonna use the cloth over
Yeah,
its
I
face.
put the handkerchief
chain.
on his face.
I mean, I rolled an 18 on that sand, and you just said it seemed vaguely useful. So that gave me no direction. I'm just going to pour it on his body.
you put it on his dick, I think.
Dick is part of the body.
Absolutely.
Especially
Where's
And
lap?
the chain. Is that all that you're gonna do?
Yeah, and then I'm going to stand in the corner. I'm going to flip over a chair. I'm going to get my proto pack ready. I'm going to start
Ooh, yes.
steaming- I'm going to light the
Bill
fire in
Murray
it to like...
starts
Mist
writhing in the chair, and you see this spirit try to half emerge from his body, and it looks at you, and it looks kind of like the dog ghosts in Ghostbusters 2. If anyone's seen that demon dog ghost thing, and it looks
I
at
don't
you.
think
and
anyone's seen that movie.
you should. It's wonderful. It's got a giant puff Michelin Man.
Those
type
are both
thing.
from
you?
Ghostbuster 1.
Yep.
2. Ghostbuster 2 was the giant puff
No,
marshmallow man.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Wrong again, Chris.
On top of the building. Was that Ghostbusters 1?
Yeah. Ghostbusters
Well,
2 was the
Ghostbusters
ooze.
1.
It was the Statue of Liberty crashing down in the art museum.
Come on, Chris.
Sorry. Ghostbusters 1. Do your background. See, I read all of Christmas Carol. Didn't have time
But didn't
to.
watch
Sure,
Ghostbusters.
you didn't have a chance to
How
read
dare you.
Ghostbusters.
Half the research.
So this creature is trying to emerge, but the chain holds it back from getting all the way out of the body, and you feel you feel tired. You feel worn down as some of your hair starts to turn gray. As you get tired, everybody's going to reduce their might and speed roll by 3 points.
Fine by me.
But it's good because it would have been a lot worse had you not gathered the sand that you did gather.
You're welcome. I shout loudly.
You can feel the sands of time warping as you age in this space. And you guys each get an attack with the proto guns before the greed demon tries.
Can I throw my cipher instead?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
You
throw
can do whatever you
Jingle.
want. But you each get a turn.
I'm gonna throw Jingle Bell Rock. This ordinary-looking pebble bursts into a flurry of clattering jingle bells when thrown against any hard surface. I'm gonna aim right for this thing's fucking mouth. Oh wait,
Okay.
it's a ghost, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm gonna hand the cipher to the elf and say, "See if you can tinker with this and make it ghost ready," and toss it. And she'll do a cool montage, I'm sure. And then I'll pull up my proto pack and say, "This one is for the Hounds of the Baskerville." I think that's a case I did. And I fire my proto pack plasm packer.
Okay. Can you roll a speed check?
No, but I will for you.
Aww.
Is a trois.
A 3.
Oui.
You hit the wall. Some books catch fire. All right. Marshall, what do you do?
I do the thing. I crank my protoplasm pack and I blast this motherfucker.
Okay. Roll a speed check.
With effort?
Yep.
Okay.
If you want to.
I do. It feels as though we are nearing the end. I have effort to spend. And with that, I roll a fucking 6.
You shoot and you hit the glass above the mantle of the fireplace, and it shattered. But you see the beams are getting dangerously close together, getting ready to cross. Mimi, what are you doing?
Yeah, I catch this jingle bell right out of the air from where Sherlock threw it to me, and I'm like, oh, I know all about this. And I pull out my tiny, tiny screwdriver, and I tinker with it really fast, and I make it available to ghost usage.
Whoa, you're ghostifying it?
I turn
That's
it-
cool.
Intellect
Advantage.
roll, so you can do that.
What?
Do an intellect roll.
All right.
It's a 2. Roll 6.
I'm going to use my edge.
Cool. You do it
And...
automatically.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
you lowered it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you tinker it. It now is actually going to work with protoplasm and all that stuff. So now it's actually going to affect you. Toss it back to the vampire. Mr. Crine, what are you going to do?
Using his experience as an expert archivist, Mr. Crine is going to use his photogenic memory to remember all of the occultish books that he saw in the office on the way here. And he's going to search his memory Rolodex of all of these titles to see whether or not there was one with this specific ritual, and whether there was a verbal component to aid in the exorcism of this here demon.
Perfect. Roll an intellect roll.
I will do this with effort.
Okay.
I keep on reaching for dice. Real dice.
You know, so
Oh,
many on my desk.
yes. Yeah, they're right there. That is a 13.
You see a tome that says "Dealing with Jacob Marley Ghost," Volume 2,
Ah!
right there. You run over. It's right under Ex Machina. It's right there. You pick it out, and you read. You flip right immediately to the page, and it says, "Remember to always light your blackened candle and use the wreath before the creature has a chance to attack."
The wreath that Keanu Reeves gave us.
Use the wreath and the candle as well. That's a good thing we have those.
I don't know where the candle came from.
Candle came from the very
disappeared.
first ghost.
Yeah, someone disappeared, but I don't know who took it. I didn't touch it. It's still down there.
I believe
In a thing
Mr.
called-
Haverford has the candle, no? The black candle? Or he used it?
Well, I said I had a black candle before there was actually a black candle cipher.
That was just kind of like story, though.
Yeah, I got confused. Either way, I do remember we
Oh, I
dripped
see.
black candle wax on Bill Murray's chest.
You did use it?
Oh,
Or
Yes,
maybe the GM
yes, we did.
said
We dripped
that.
it on his chest in a very sexual manner.
It was
Yes, it was
sexy.
quite
Candle, all the
arousing.
lights are, as you're about to light the candle, all the lights in the room, like everything, light from any source at all goes out. But luckily, as you light the candle, it illuminates and fills the space, so you're not blinded.
Ah.
The wreath.
Yeah.
has
I
anyone
have the
used-
wreath around my body.
Luckily, the smell of rot and just every like food you can imagine that's been mashed together just from this greedy maw of a spirit that's eaten everything you can find. Just all those smells mixing together is just so potent and putrid. But cutting through it all is the smell of fresh evergreen. And you are able to survive that attack from this greed monster. Back to Mr. Holmes. What do you do?
I toss that Jingle Bell rock in my hand and I say, "Hey, motherfucker, you ever been fucked by a ghost orb thrown by a vampire? 'Cause you're about to be." And I lick it with my vampire blood juice. 'Cause that's a thing.
That's what comes off of your tongue.
Always. And I throw it. And it goes spinning slow motion towards the ghost, and it explodes in all these I think it's 12 orbs that do 2d4 damage each, plus lightning. And he has to do a con save or be stunned for 3 rounds.
You have a con for this ghost, right?
Sure. Let's say it does a massive amount of damage. We'll say it does a 1d20 damage.
Whoa, cool.
And as it's thrown through your air, you actually hear it ring, and you're like, "I do believe in Santa." And
Yes.
So that's an added benefit. You're welcome.
Here we go. 17.
Ooh,
Very nice.
That's
good
sick.
damage.
So you see the creature
Plus
Writhing.
vampire spit.
writhing as it tries to kind of like clamber out of Bill Murray, but the chain is holding its back, and it's trying to get away. I believe we're at Mimi. Mimi, what do you do?
Oh shit! I thought we were done.
Protoplasm.
No, it's clearly trying to get away now.
Oh, good. I'm gonna fucking protoplasm that fucker. Do I have to roll for that?
You sure do. It's speed attack.
All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna lower the difficulty.
Okay, need to roll 12.
Here I go. I rolled a 4.
You shoot, and it looks like it connects, but it kind of just turns towards you, and
And I scream.
it lunges towards you as the chain breaks, and it makes a move and picks you up. You're kind of like floating in the air, and you feel the creature try to possess you.
I'm just
And-
cursing. Fuck!
Mr. Crine, what do you do? Marshall, sorry,
Ooh,
Mr. Marshall.
it's Marshall.
Miss Mimi!
And I would like to try and break the grapple the creature has on her.
Okay. How?
Brawn.
It's a great question.
The magic of love.
Use the proto gun maybe, or
I
proto
use
gun.
the proto gun.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. I would like to do that, and I'll effort it. $15.
Nice.
Hey.
The beam connects as all the other 3 beams in the room also fire at the same time, and the beast writhes in pain and disappears. And morning, the sound of singing and caroling as you wake up all in your bed back at the manor from whence you first came. Yeah, that's what you hear. You go downstairs and you realize it is Christmas Day.
Hell
And you
yeah!
hear knocking on the door.
Hello.
I think
Hello
Marshall.
there. Oh, may
right, of
I
course.
help you?
And there before you is Keanu Reeves. And he hands
Mr.
to you
Reeves.
a page. And you look at it. It's an eviction notice.
What the fuck?
This is Christmas Day, and he gives you an eviction notice. What do you say?
Invictus notice.
Eviction.
Fuck. Okay. Well, this is unprecedented.
Unprecedented? Bah humbug. And as he turns, you see that same sad greedy dread in his eyes as he walks away from your house. And we're going to end it there.
Hey! To be continued.
Great game, Chris. The
Thank
only thing I'm
you.
disappointed in is how none of us renamed him Keanu Reeves. Right? Until the end, I was like,
Missed opportunity.
no! How could we forget?
This is my Keanu wreath.
Oh,
We should put a little cutout face of Keanu on our wreath on our front
Yeah.
door.
Oh, great game, Chris. This was fun.
Yeah.
And educational.
right? Charles Dickens. It's good
We
for you.
now know exactly what vampires look like. You're welcome. Great game, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the 5th annual Invictus Halloween game. Hold your laughter. This was an absolute blast for everybody to play and hang out and drink and be merry. 'Tis the season, and this year is a year that we need all this joy more than any other year. And we're so happy that we got to share this with you. So thank you for coming out and spending your time. Of course, thank you to James and Justin and Joe and Chris. A huge round of applause for Chris for running this game. As the new year is about to fall upon us, we will have one game before the new year comes. But we do want to say, from all of us here, a sincere and love-filled happy holidays, whether it be Christmas or whatever else. I was in trouble halfway through there. I was like, oh no, wait, what are the other ones? Regardless, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope that you have a festive season. I hope that you stay away from people, not in your heart, but in the physicality of three-dimensional space, because this is a time where you need to be very safe. There's a lot of scary things going on in the world, and while I don't want to scare you or overwhelm you, it is really important that you understand that all of us here in Invictus feel very strongly towards you maintaining safe distance from those that you love this holiday. And I know it's tough, and that is why we have this wonderful space. So please consider joining the Discord, hang out, chat, or join other people in merriment and joy in games, and find solace in the relationships that we can make throughout this time rather than risk the ones that you have in your real life. So that is it from us. We wish you a very happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. And as my good friend Chris always likes to say,
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
good night, everybody.
Good night.